Let's get nasty on a Wednesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter's 201. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Cardinals and the Orioles playing the final game of their three-game set. They are now in a rain delay, so we welcome in those that, want to just tune into the Fast Lane while you wait for the game. Or heck, stream it later. Stream it while you're listening to us. Stream us, stream the game, stream it all.
Stream it all.
All right, Jamie?
Well said.
Thank you. So, coming into the second game today, so the third game of the series, second game today, the Cardinals have hit a home run in 9 straight games. 9 straight games. I went back to the 11th, which is right around the time they started to put
play
things
better.
together. Yeah, play better. And they have a total of 11 home runs, which would be tied for 10th. Several other teams have 11 home runs over that same span. So they're tied for 10th, but they're in the top 10 technically. Do you think the power coincides with this team turning things around?
Well, I think it has to. I mean, they were getting on base, and they weren't getting guys home. So, yeah, I think the power absolutely is part of their success here recently. Because what do we always say? Get on base, get a hold of one, crooked number. Mm-hmm. And that's how you put up big numbers offensively in the majors. But the Cardinals are getting on base, leaving guys stranded. Getting on base, leaving them stranded.
Or not getting on base.
Or not getting on base, right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, they did have a bunch of runners left on base for a long time. They were like worst in the National League at one point of getting guys.
When they did get somebody on, they didn't get them in.
Correct. They left him out there on the lily pads, you know? And now with the power, I don't think it's a coincidence at all. I think it goes hand in hand with their success.
I think just finding ways to score runs. You know, we talked about it. They were how they were minus in run differential. They were really stinking it up both at the plate, and then the pitching started to slow down a little bit. But you're starting to see the batters drive runners in and as you said, hit the ball over the fence, and that helps. I mean, if you were struggling, they were dead last at one point about 2 weeks ago in home runs in Major League Baseball. Like, I still don't know if they have a player that has 10 home runs, double-digit home runs. I don't think they do. I think the highest is like 6.
I think it's 7 or 8 now with Gorman.
Yeah, so, but they are starting to find ways to win games, to hit the ball out of the park. Gunnar Henderson, I think, has 16 home runs or something like that.
That's it, huh?
That's not bad, Jamie. I don't know if you keep track of these things. I know you didn't play professional baseball, but
you're right. I'm not a professional baseball player yet. Please add that in there.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
You just never know, Carey.
No, but no, they are having success, which is allowing them to win games. Finding ways to score runs generally helps you win games, and so they're doing that right now.
So they, right now, Carey, you were asking whether or not they have the 10. As Jamie mentioned, they've got Gorman with 6 or 7 now. Over that span that I was talking about, Goldschmidt has 2, Lars Nootbaar has 2 when he stays in games. Gorman has 2, Burleson with 2, Arenado, Winn have 1 apiece. So you're getting contributions from everybody. So it's not just the home runs. It's the home runs leading to the run production. You're getting home runs from a variety of different players. So different guys are contributing. It's not one or 2 guys carrying your offense for you. They've got kind of a stable of hitters right now. And it has directly influenced the offense. The defense, unfortunately, has now committed an error in what, Marsh? 9 straight games?
9 straight games, and that's the first time it's happened, I believe, since 2002.
And Arenado with two today. I don't know if the one
he only got credited with 1.
With the 1.
Or dinged with 1. I don't know how you want to word that.
The other one was a rocket shot, but we've seen Nolan Arenado make that play before. The other one was just a flat out he's trying to transfer the ball from glove to hand, and he dropped it. But 9 straight errors now. The defense has been a strength throughout the entire season. The range on display for Masyn Winn. The errors aren't as important for Winn as just kind of the eye test, right? Like the defensive run saves, how many runs he's saving at shortstop, because he's going to get to a lot of balls too. Doesn't always mean that if you got several errors that you're gonna be a problem defensively. It's just obviously the more balls you get to, the more you range. the more errors you might have because you're getting the balls that a lot of people don't.
Well, or you're getting close enough to get a piece of the ball.
Sure.
Which is a screwy way. I don't know how the majors could tweak their error system, but it actually rewards a guy for not trying.
Yeah, true.
Because if there's a ball hitting the gap and
Or
you
being
don't go
safe.
for it,
Or not good enough to get there, yeah.
or you just don't, you're like, it goes by. It's like, it's a base hit. It's not my error.
Right.
If you lean over or dive for it, you get a piece of it or whatever.
Like Alec Burleson a year ago didn't have any errors.
Yeah, correct. I think Masyn Winn, his other, and it's not a problem, but the fact that he does have such a strong arm, it's almost like Brett Favre at quarterback. You never think you can't make the throw. Like, hey, go right, throw it back to the left of the receiver. No, don't do that. Yeah, I can do that. I can make it. I think that's part of it as well. He has such a strong arm that he gets to a ball. He's like, I can make this.
Yeah,
like,
I got a
he
chance.
airmailed one to the catcher, which was an error a couple of games ago. And I think Jim Evans was like, I've never seen that in my life. It was like 10 feet over the catcher's head, but it's his arm is strong enough, and if you are rounding third or halfway down the line, I can get you out. So he's going to make some plays that other people wouldn't even try.
Well, yeah, you're 100% right. And it's that young energy / confidence, too. Like, I remember breaking into the NHL and, like, never thinking I can't make that pass.
Yeah.
Like, I can make that pass. I can sauce it over 5 sticks and land that thing. There's no way I'm not making that pass.
Yeah.
And then you go to make that pass, knock down in the back of your net. Okay. Then you go I can make that pass. It's that youth that it's awesome because there's no fear. And so he's going to be able to make plays that we haven't seen in a long time because he's just willing to try. But at the same time, as he gets older, as he gets a little more mature, there will be circumstances where he ranges enough to get to the ball, but then the veteran move is going to be to just hold the ball because there's not a chance at first base to get the play. So instead of turning a single into a double, just keep the guy at first.
So
Good advice for him.
Yeah, absolutely, Jamie. Well done. Well said.
Very appreciates that.
Over that same span that I was talking about, it wasn't the 11th, sorry, it was the 12th. It was the 12th. That's when the Cardinals beat the Brewers in Milwaukee and started to really turn around their season. They're actually 8th in home runs with 11. So you push it forward a day again. The reason why I'm going with that date is because that was when they really started to turn their season around. 11 home runs, so they're 8th in the league over that span. If you look at runs scored, they're 4th. They've got 50 runs scored over that same span. They're 4th. They're actually tied for 3rd. RBI, they are 9th. Stolen bases, they're 11th. If you go to stuff like slugging, they are 6th. WRC plus, which is that metric that I often like to use, they're 3rd, 140. So they're 40 percentage points higher as a team than average since May 12th. This offense has completely turned things around. There's some tangible evidence that at least the pieces are in place now. The production is starting to match it. Hopefully they can continue to pile wins, though. Right now they're down 3-0 in the middle of the, I think it's fourth inning right now. But they didn't get, there was so far no run support for Kyle Gibson. And defensively, they haven't been great.
It's been a weird game. I think it's, obviously I've never been in that situation where you're playing the end of a hockey game in one day and then a whole brand new hockey game right after that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a unique feeling. I think it's kind of weird because you capped off the first game with a nice home run by Gorman. Everybody's feeling good about themselves, and you got to start another game, and you got a couple of bumps in the road. It's probably difficult, but it is only 3 runs, and one thing the Cardinals have been doing recently is they've been able to put some numbers on the board. Will they be able to come back and do it today? I mean, who knows? But I feel better about it. Like,
you won the series already.
How do you guys, honestly,
Which is great.
Overall, how do you guys feel right now about the Cardinals? Because we joke about the "you up" text, which, by the way, it's pretty tough to get that today. It was about 12 o'clock.
You were already
I was already up.
Yeah.
They knew it. It's just not the same.
Right.
Okay? I would have answered it for sure, especially after taking 2 right away from the Orioles. But how are you guys feeling overall? They're currently a game and a half back of the wild card after all this crap.
I feel more hopeful. That's how I feel. I feel more hopeful. They're playing better ball. We said this when things were going sideways, and some people, it was the minority, but the minority were kind of chirping at us like, "Can you guys ever be positive?" No, we're not going to be positive when they're in last place and there's no tangible evidence that they're going to turn things around. I just mentioned the offensive statistics since May 12th. That's real. And you're seeing now a change in the way that the team is playing. Regardless of how this final game ends today, they will have beaten the Orioles. They would have won that series. They're starting to compile series victories. Last night, Lance Lynn pitched well. We haven't even talked about that. 6 innings of work, scattered the 2 hits, only allowed 1 run, and he had 5 Ks with no walks. There are encouraging signs now to suggest that this team can get back to 500, and then who knows? So I'm more hopeful today than ever.
I
Carey
am still reserved. Still 4 games under 500. I'll take the U up text when they get to at least 1 game over 500.
You know today if they win, you're answering.
Nah, because there'll be 3 games
I see that look
under.
in your eye.
Nah. I am cautiously optimistic because I've had my heart broken by this team, and so I won't go all in.
Scorned.
Yeah, lover scorned. I am burned. I've been burned by this team, so I won't give them everything I got until they show me that they can play at least 500 ball consistently. Because I think that has to be the barometer. You have to be at least that to consider yourself. And I know, Jamie, you said that there are only 1.5 games out of the wild card, and I think there are still like 4 teams in front of them, which. Yeah, that's good, but is it really? Like, the number looks good, but there are a lot of teams in front of you. So
to me, it's just that's how screwy it is right now.
Yeah, that means everybody's stinking it up. So, I won't get too excited with the Cardinals. I do like how they're playing. I do like the fact that they're hitting the ball out of the fence. They're driving the ball. They're scoring runs. The error streak is a bit concerning because if you're not hitting the ball well, then that could become a problem. We saw it today. 3 runs scored. An error by Nolan Arenado. So now, you're in that situation. But all in all, I'm cautiously optimistic for where they are right now.
I'm the exact same way. I was going to use the same exact phrase, cautiously optimistic. And I go back to last year. They swept the Red Sox. They won the series against the Brewers. They took 3 of 4 against the Dodgers, beat the Reds twice in that 4-game series. And then things started to fall apart. And when did that happen? Right around the same exact time it's happening right now. So we saw this last season where they started to put things together, and then we were all feeling really good because they were beating the Dodgers, who were a really good team. They swept the Red Sox, but then things fell off the rails. You got swept by the Pirates. You lost 5 in a row, and things just went downhill from there. Yeah. So I need to see a little bit more than what I'm seeing now, and I need to see them get back to 500 before I can really feel confident in this team.
That's fair. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Do the Cardinals have the elements, at least, to get back into this division? That's next on 101 ESPN. this question actually goes perfectly with what Jamie just threw out there, which is how do you feel about the Cardinals right now, right in this moment? Do you guys think the Cardinals at least have the elements to win the division, to get back into it, to get to 500, to get back into the division race and eventually win the division? Forget going beyond that. Do they have the elements?
I think you automatically have to say yes, and here's the reason why, and Carey, you and I have talked about this before, is you've got 2 Hall of Famers in your infield. What Hall of Famers do the Brewers have?
Right now, none.
What Hall of Famers do the Cubs have?
Right now, none.
Okay. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it's a hell of a start when you've got those 2 guys. Now, have they been performing to their potential? No, not yet. But Goldie is hitting the ball better. I mean, he's not 0 for gopher out there. Arenado and Goldie would love to see more power from both of those guys, but that's your start. And then when you look at Gorman's heating up. Newt's heating up. Burleson's having himself a great year. I think you have the elements there to do it. Defensively, I have no worries. I know it's been 9 games in a row or whatever they've had, but overall, when you look at this team defensively, I think they're going to be fine throughout the course of 162 games. Where I worry about this team is pitching. I do still. I know Lance Lynn had himself a very, very good start and probably would have went 7 or 8 depending on the circumstances last night, but the rain delay came in and screwed that up. And I was happy for him. I was. But we still haven't figured out who the 5th starter is. And if you can't lock that down, because you've dug yourself such a hole, like every single game is important right now. And when you got that Matthew Liberatore / player X, Y, or Z start coming up every 5th day.
Uncertainty.
It's uncertainty. And then the last time they had that, Ollie rolls out the B squad because he's like, we get these guys their reps and it is what it is. So for me, I worry about the consistency of the rotation. I worry about a Michaelis blow up. I worry about the Lance Lynn blow up. Today, a little worried about Gibby. He had quite a few pitches already in 3.5 innings. I worry about that part of it more than I worry about the other side.
I'm actually going to back you up on this with numbers here. Sonny Gray's got an ERA of 2.87. He's got a FIP, so a fielding independent percentage ERA of 2.99. Just read it like ERA, all right? Let's not go too far into the analytics. So Sonny Gray, 2.87 ERA, 2.99 FIP. So that's outstanding. Pretty much a wash. Yep. That's outstanding. Lance Lynn, he's got a 3.68 ERA, but a 4.50 FIP. So that's quite a bit higher. Miles Michaelis, good news, bad news. Good news is the FIP, lower. Bad news is it's still 4.97, or 4.61, excuse me, with a 5.77 ERA. So you're going to see, based on the projections, the numbers, you're going to see a slightly better version of Miles Michaelis, but not a good version of Miles
Michaelis. Now, what about
Matthew
Liberatore?
Well, you don't.
No, it's important to the conversation, Carey.
Okay.
Absolutely, because he's going to be out there again on the bump next game or whatever the heck when his time comes up.
Kyle Gibson, by the way, 4.09 ERA, 4.60 FIP. So you see a slightly worse version of Gibson. Not terrible, but most of the guys I just mentioned have either a regression or your Michaelis. And, hey, it's a good regression, but still bad overall. I can look up Liberatore, too, if you want.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what the pillar to my conversation is here is those guys being question marks and then the complete uncertainty of Matthew Liberatore.
So Liberatore's got a 5.40 ERA. Look, part of this is your relief. He's got some innings out of the bullpen. So take this with a grain of salt. But his FIP is 4.34.
Still not great, Anthony. I know it's better than his ERA, but it's not great.
No, it's not great, no. But you should see a positive. I always hate the term positive regression, but you should see
it's kind of an oxymoron.
Exactly, isn't it? I believe that's what it's called, positive regression. Either way, he should be pitching better than what his ERA would indicate.
Are you all, you talk about, one of the things we talked about earlier this season is the pitching, the starting rotation, and how well they performed. But when you start putting those numbers out there, Kyle Gibson kind of got knocked around a little bit today. Sonny Gray has had a couple of rough starts and then performed well. Lance Lynn, kind of the same. Is there any concern that, other than number one, Sonny Gray and Lance Lynn / Kyle Gibson, there any concern about 3, 4, and 5 and trying to figure out every 3rd, 5th, 4th, and 5th day what you're going to get from them?
Do you see how you asked that question? Sonny Gray, and then yes.
You already answered.
You already answered your question.
I was doing the Sesame.
right.
He's answering.
I was trying to push it in the direction that gave a little bit more positivity, but clearly it didn't come across that way.
No,
I think you missed the mark.
I think so too. But this isn't to say that they haven't pitched way better than expected, because they have. I didn't think that this starting rotation would be as competitive as what it has been. The question is, and my concern, based on your face, Carey, your concern is whether or not it's going to continue.
Yeah.
Are you going to have consistency? And Miles Michaelis has got to be better.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a standard metric. 5.77 ERA is not good.
Yeah. I agree.
Going back to the original question, do the Cards have the elements to win the division? I think I want to ask a question to that question.
All right.
What are the Cards' strengths, and then do they do that well? I look at some of the other teams, the Milwaukee Brewers, they're 6th in home runs in Major League Baseball, tied for 3rd in ribbies, and the Cubs, they have great pitching. You have Javier Assad, his ERA is 1.70. You have Imanaga, who has a 0.84 ERA. That guy.
Talk about Hall of Famer. Sign him up right now.
Jameson Tyone.
Boy, you're getting a little.
I don't know,
quick,
Anthony. 5-0.
Tyone's got a 2.20.
Let out of yourself.
That's his ERA. And then you have Justin Steele, who's coming back. So their strength is pitching right now. Milwaukee, they can score runs. What do the Cardinals do well?
That's a really good question.
Usually, well, the bullpen. The bullpen is a strength. The bullpen remains a strength.
Get to the bullpen though. Like, you have to have a lead.
Yeah.
And you have to be in games where, that's almost like a secondary type of thing. You have to be able to have a lead for the bullpen to be effective or matter.
No, you're absolutely right. I will say, when they do have a lead, the bullpen has been lights out. I've got some numbers here. So our guy Bernie Michaelis put these together recently. And this was, I think, either before the Baltimore series or after the first Baltimore game. So, this give you a rough idea. Cardinals are 19-0 when leading through 8 innings. Last season, they lost 6 times when leading through 8. From the 7th inning through the end of the game, the Cardinals ranked 5th in the majors and 3rd in the National League with a bullpen ERA of 3.00. From the 8th inning through the end of the game, the Cardinals lead the majors with a 1.89 bullpen ERA. Their 75% save rate ranks 3rd overall and 1st in the National League. I would say, without a doubt, the bullpen is a strength. You get a lead to the 7th inning, and to carry your point, you do need to get that lead. If you get a lead in the 7th, yes, this bullpen has been outstanding. So I think that is a strength. The 9 errors are concerning. We also know that they have a very good defense. Outside of that, we're just now seeing the offense come alive and what it can do. They need to get some guys back. Wilson Contreras has got to come back healthy. Tommy Edman at some point. But I think that's what they do well. Would you guys change that at all? Do you guys feel good about the pen? Do you guys feel good about the defense?
No, I feel good about the bullpen. I worry a little bit right now about JoJo Romero. He's being used an awful lot, and this happened last year. Because he's such a competitive guy and he does such a good job, I feel like Ollie goes to him a lot, and last year it ended up breaking him. He ended up getting injured because he was pitching too much. And recently here, it's kind of the same story. They're going to him a lot. And I know he'll take the ball every time.
Yeah.
And Kittredge they're going to him a lot. Now, that's more of a veteran guy that kind of knows his body a little bit better. But I worry that what if those 2 guys get drained? Now what? That's part of your big 3 right now. You got Helsley that closes, Romero, and then Kittredge. So Kittredge, Romero, Helsley. That's how you're closing out games that you're winning. What if those 2 go? What if something happens? They tweak something. Now,
somebody else
what does your bullpen look like?
Somebody's going to step up. You're right.
I mean, you don't even have Liberatore in your bullpen now.
No, maybe he does go. He transitions back. Steven Matz,
but he's not going to replace either of those.
Has been cleared to throw.
Middleton is on his way.
Oh, he's been cleared to throw. Great, so we're only 6 months away now.
All right.
Well, no, he'll come back. It's just
How will he come
he'll go back on the IL.
It's unreal.
Okay. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What's trending is next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals pick up a 3-1 victory in the early game, the completion of Game 2 of this series against the Baltimore Orioles. Right now, the score is 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth. It is a rain delay, so that means we get a chance to talk with Brad Thompson. So we're going to skip what's trending for now and get to our pal BT that's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for some high heat with BT on 101 ESPN. Inside and high.
Powered by Scott Lee Heating Company, your preferred Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor. Visit ScottLeeHeating.com.
There's no excuse for Thompson throwing at the head of right.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with the Cardinals and Orioles now in a rain delay at Busch Stadium in the bottom of the fourth. We get a chance to talk to our guy, Brad Thompson, who joins us via the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. What's up, BT?
Guys, it's wet out here. It's wet out here yet again. Another rain delay. Yeah, look, it is what it is. Last night we had to wait for something, and it worked out well in the first half of the day. And now it is moist out here again, and hopefully we have to wait for something epic again.
BT, what do you think of all these ejections here? Last night we got Newt. Ollie gets tossed again today. Now, just cause here today. Ollie was all over the ump because the ump was just, well, I'll just say he's terrible. But, you know, what's your take on these ejections here? A lot of emotions.
All right. Let me preface this, okay, with umpiring is incredibly hard. Especially behind the plate is very, very difficult. And I actually, after the umpire Charlie Ramos butchered 3 calls in a row to Lars Nootbaar, after the ejection of Ollie, and boy, others could have followed for sure because everybody was mad about it. I was actually using, in the booth, we have a little talkback button where we could talk to the producer, and I asked, I go, hey, do you think that there is technology, like VR technology for training umpires where you can just see balls coming in and you just click a little thing, balls or strikes? Because I would like to see that, and if not, I would like to invent it so I can be rich, so we can figure out these balls and strikes. Look, it just sucks, right? Because you're starting to play some better baseball, and then you're seeing at-bats getting taken out of the hands of guys. And look, Mike Estabrook yesterday, he struggled mightily for both teams. Like, in all fairness, I did not like Newt getting ran out of that ball game. I think that you have to pick your times for stuff like that. The first inning is not a good time for a guy that hits to the top of your order. Fortunately, the Cardinals were able to win that ball game regardless without him in there. But it does get maddening when you're starting to play better baseball, you're starting to see the ball better, and then you're getting jobbed with strike calls that are absolutely balls. Like, not even necessarily borderline calls, absolute balls.
BT, you're talking about the Cardinals playing better, and there seems to be a bit of a power surge. What was the turnaround? What happened? What are they doing better?
So I think it's a few things, Carey. I think one is guys are just relaxing a little bit, and you know how that is. Like, once the offense starts coming as a team, it takes a lot of pressure off of each individual, and I think that you're starting to see that. And I think you're just starting to see calmer at-bats where you're not chasing as much. And that's the second part of it, right? Being more selective and not trying to make every pitch the pitcher throws the one where you turn around the offense. You have to be strict with the plan that you're coming up to the plate with. And I think that overall they've done a good job of that. You are starting to see the power surge. You're starting to see them hit for average. Obviously, when those two things are happening, you're scoring a lot of runs. You look back to 2 Sundays ago, a span of like 10 games, the Cardinals have the second best offense in baseball in terms of runs per game. Only the Giants have scored more runs per game in that span than they have. And that is more like it. Like, that's what we expected this offense to look like, guys. And that is still without power from Goldie, and it's still without power from Arenado. So inevitably, you believe that's going to come, even with the numbers overall for those two guys down from where they've been in their career a year ago. They're still 25-plus home run guys, 90 RBI guys. Look, I like your chances if things continue to trend this direction.
Brad Thompson joining us right now from Busch Stadium. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. BT, what are you seeing right now out of Matthew Liberatore? A lot of success from a bullpen standpoint as a reliever, but from a starting standpoint, the results just aren't there. What are your thoughts on Matthew Liberatore?
Yeah, we talked about Libby last week, right? And my thought was last week, until you have somebody that is pushing him out of that spot, then you let him run at it. But right now, after you've seen another turn in the rotation, I feel like, and it's easy from my seat because I don't make any of the roster moves. I don't have to deal with any of the ramifications and repercussions of moving pieces around.
Not yet.
I know.
Not yet.
Well, you know what? I don't think I want that gig. I mean, unless it comes with a hefty jump in salary, which I'm sure it does, then maybe. And then I'm going to have to pep up my whole wardrobe quite a bit. And look, I just don't want to have to live up to something like that. It's a lot going on. But if you're just looking at it from a sheer baseball stance right now, he serves you better in the bullpen. And it's not that his numbers are off the charts, because you look at his numbers in the pen, it's not like he's striking out the world. But his velocity does have an uptick out of the pen. I believe when you use him for shorter stints, he's been more effective. And, regardless of who you might try, and I don't know what they want to do. I don't know if they want to try Palante. I don't know if they want to give another turn to him. I know he threw his bullpen, so that would tell you that he's trending in the direction of pitching this weekend against the Cubs. But I feel like it might be about time to try something different, because I believe that Matthew Liberatore is a big league pitcher, and I believe that he can have a future as a big league starter. But right now, the numbers haven't been there. It hasn't looked like it. It's not like he's catching some bad breaks. I think that I'd like to see him back in the pen, be that bridge to your back end 7, 8, 9 that has been so good. He could be the left-handed part of that bridge. Ryan Fernandez, the Rule 5 pick, can be the right side of that. And all of a sudden, you're piecing it together and you feel better about your depth in your bullpen.
BT, I was going to go right there with you to the bullpen. I called them the big three today with Kittredge, Romero, and then Helsley. I mean, what a way to close out a game when you're the Cardinals, especially when those guys are pitching as well as they have. But are you worried a little bit about over usage at all with any of those guys?
No, I'm worried a lot about overusage of all of those guys. Yeah, you have to be. And honestly, it's the conversation generally. Like, one thing I want to know when I sit and talk to Ollie every single day is, who's available. Because we try to manage along with him out of the bullpen. And the recipe for winning has been those three guys are pitching in pretty much every single game that you win. Through 162 games, that can't be the case. And I would be doing the same thing as Ollie right now. I'm running those guys out as much as possible. I think that he's done as good of a job as he possibly can of building in some rest. That rain was actually a bit of a blessing yesterday, that those guys got another day off. So you got to use them in that ball game today to shut out or to shut things down and seal up the series victory against the Orioles. But yeah, man, and it's twofold, right? You need other guys that can step up into that role, and the hope is that when Middleton gets healthy, he's part of that. Maybe when Giovanni Gallegos comes back, because he didn't look right all season long, that rest and that strengthening puts him right back in the mix of that back end of the pen, so you can just mix and match and switch these guys out. We'll see with Riley O'Brien, who was electric in spring training, but he seems a little further away from returning. But you hope that those guys are able to do that. But, Jamie, the big thing for me is they've had so many opportunities here lately, and game one against the Orioles is a prime example, where they have a 5-0 lead, and then I think they had two guys on, and Gorman was up. He ended up striking out, I believe, in the ball game. Just the idea of adding on, all of a sudden you get that big hit, then it's 8-0, then all of a sudden it's like, boom, okay, let's sit back, relax, let some of these other guys eat up some innings, rest our guys, and just keep pouring on offensively. Their offense is going to save their pitching staff. That's the way that it's going to happen for them. And we're seeing the trends in the right direction, but they need to be able to add on and pile on, because if not, I do worry about it at the end of the year when you need these guys the most, when it's August, when it's September, when it's hopefully October. Can these guys still have bullets? That's how you have to manage.
BT, we were talking about this yesterday, and I know you're not paid to make these decisions, but when Jordan Walker comes back, not yet, when Tommy Edman comes back, how difficult of a decision is that going to be for that outfield, trying to figure out who's going where?
It's a very difficult decision, but that's the decision you want instead of who the hell am I going to play today? You know, like you'd rather have that one. If guys are forcing your hand for playing time, that's exactly what you want as a general manager. That's what you want as a manager and as a staff. Now we use all of our, whatever our data is or whatever we believe the best matchups to put the best possible combination out there in the outfield. That's what you want. And you have that, and then you couple it with the fact that you might have to make a move. You might have to make an opening for a player. Now, this might be an opening to bring in a fifth starter if you need one at that point. It might just be an idea of having to trade off a piece because you need a spot. But that's where it ends up getting more creative for Mo, for Gersh, for this front office. But those are the problems that you want to have. You want Jordan Walker beating down the door and saying, let me in. Last I checked, Walker still does not have a home run at Memphis. Not that home runs are everything, and I believe that he is hitting for average right around 300. But you want to see the damage. You want to see the power for him, because I want to see Jordan Walker on the field every day for the next decade plus, wearing the birds on the bat. But he's got to force your hand at this point. I don't want to say that the organization rushed him to the big leagues, because I truly believe that he earned it, he deserved it, and he should have been here out of spring training a year ago. But it has not been the start to the career that he wanted, and I think that you want to be a little bit more patient this time with him.
BT, how's the rain looking right now?
It's still raining. Now, the rain is still wet. It looks like it's coming in from the west. And honestly, it's not pouring now, but it's been steady. So last look at the radar that I don't pay for. I don't pay for my weather, guys. I don't need to be the first one to tell you that it's raining, because you can look outside, and if it's wet outside, it's raining. But if I had to pick a time, okay, this is just me, Brad, the baseball guy, not weather guy, with no background in this, and I haven't talked to anybody. I'm saying 4:15 to 4:30 start, okay? And if that happens, guess who's the new weather guy?
You before you take over as manager.
Well, I can wear a lot of hats at the same time, as long as I can wear a lot of paychecks coming in.
Yeah, there you go. Nice job. Good thought. BT, we'll let you go. Thanks for joining us, pal.
Fellas, absolutely. Have a great rest of your show.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you, buddy.
All right, see you guys.
That's World Series champion Brad Thompson. So he estimates 4:15 for this game to resume at Busch Stadium.
Probably
between the Orioles.
Spot on.
I would say so. Orioles currently
I would
up
say
3-0.
Brad's probably got a pretty good idea after all these years.
I would say so.
Yeah,
I would say so. All right, what's trending is next in the Fast Lane.
time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
All right, welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh has got some What's Trending for you, but the biggest thing that's trending here at the Hubbard Studios is that it is a very happy birthday for our guy, Mike Ryder. Happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday.
Well, Knight Rider himself.
And this is a true statement. You guys all know this. If Ryder were to ever leave, this place would fall apart.
Yeah.
Oh,
Peace,
I've told him sometimes, just for fun, take 3 days and don't answer your phone.
Yeah. Fire alarms would be going off for no reason.
Sprinkler system. Trying to figure out what's happening.
Something. Just
Different
chaos.
ads
2 or
would
3
be
other
playing at the
employees
same
would
time.
have meltdowns.
100%. I don't know if you guys are Office fans, but there's an episode in The Office where things just start to go crazy, haywire, right? Dwight, he's like testing everybody. Fire alarms, sprinklers, chaos, people like shoving each other out, people jumping out. Like that's how it would be.
I agree.
If the birthday boy Mike Ryder would not be here every day. So happy
Absolutely.
birthday, brother. I think he's 26 today.
Oh, wow.
Just same age as Marshy.
Yeah.
No.
Will you guys graduate together?
Nope.
All right, Marsh, what do you got for What's Trending?
All right, gentlemen, I have some good news and I have some bad news.
Give us the bad news first. Let's get that out of the way.
The bad news is the 2024-2025 NBA season will mark the final run for TNT's Inside the NBA, featuring Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and our pal, Charles Barkley, friend of the show,
Friend
of
of the
course.
show, yeah.
So that is the bad news. That really sucks. The good news is, according to Dan Lebitard, NBC contacted artist John Tesh about bringing back the iconic NBA on NBC theme song, Round Ball Rock.
Well,
Okay,
I
all right.
mean, you got that going.
That's your positive spin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you're losing
yeah,
Shaq,
but you're
Chuck.
gaining the theme song, which is a bit nostalgic for me. So, sometimes you got to lose something to gain something, Jamie.
I guess.
That's a tough loss.
Honestly,
It is a tough
all jokes aside, I don't know what the NBA is going to do.
I don't know either.
Because that show on TNT, if there's people that are tuning in to watch that show and staying for the basketball.
Correct. Correct.
Which is reverse. Which is reverse of what you usually get, right?
Yeah.
And so the NBA, between now and the end of the 25 season, has to figure out how they're going to replicate that in some shape or form. Like you've got, if NBC takes over, which it's rumored that they are, NBC needs to talk to Charles, they need to talk to Shaq. I think Ernie's under contract with TNT.
He's not leaving TNT.
So he's not leaving TNT. Can you find another Ernie? I think you could.
I don't think so.
I don't mean exactly. Could you find another guy that kind of tries to keep it on the rails?
I
Probably
think,
out there. It's harder to replace Shaq and Chuck. Those are the two main guys.
I almost would disagree. I think it's harder to replace Ernie because Ernie is driving everything. He is, to me, he is the unsung hero of the entire show. He's the
I'm
one
not saying
that
he's irrelevant.
No,
Trust me.
he's probably the most relevant in my opinion because he really, I mean, those guys are going to be who they are regardless. Like they're good, but he is the one that keeps it, as you said, on the rails and is when it's time to be serious. And the level of respect that they have for Ernie Johnson is you can just tell. So I think losing Ernie would be chaotic. It would be like Anthony said, without Mike Ryder here.
Correct. But the way I look at it is the personalities are harder to find.
Yeah.
Whereas the broadcaster who's done it for a long time, if they get, for me, it's reps. If another guy taking Ernie's spot gets in there and gets used to kind of how this rolls, the straight-laced broadcaster should be able to keep it on the rails when it's time to be. The hardest part is finding another Barkley, is finding another Shaq, and then finding their relationship together.
Yeah, it's that chemistry. You're right. It's finding the chemistry. I agree. And the personality.
Jamie asked a question to BT about Ollie Marmol being ejected in today's game. That reminded Jamie of a story that he has, and then he has, he showed me some Bo Jackson audio from KCTV, which happened back in 2019, a story that he had that reminded him of a story that Jamie has. Listen to Bo Jackson.
I took a strike 3 right down the middle on purpose because I knew it was a strike, and I turned around and cussed out the umpire so he could toss me out of the game. This was July 21st, 1990. My daughter was born that morning, so I went to the hospital and spent the day with my daughter and wife in the hospital. So I got kicked out. That's my favorite moment. Getting kicked out of the game on purpose to go spend the day at the hospital.
That's pretty good.
It reminded me of a game in the minors, my very first year of pro hockey. And the minors is the jungle. It's not like the NHL where you get your 3 games a week, maybe 4 on a bad, on a busy week. The minors, you play Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday afternoon.
Wow.
And you're traveling this whole time. Well, there was one game in particular where we had a big win on Saturday night. And shame on me if we don't celebrate that win. And so me and a couple other teammates went out and probably didn't get back home to the hotel but 6 in the morning.
Wow.
Somewhere it was light out.
Afternoon game?
We had a 2:30 puck drop.
Oh, no.
And so I knew going into it, I'm like, I'm not going to last long here because I could play, but I was like, ugh, it's the 4th game. It's a 4th game in 5 days. So first shift, I went out and cross-checked a guy, like up high, just behind the ear, helmet went flying. Referee gives me a 2-minute for that, and I start arguing, get another 2-minute. Then I looked at him and I said, what's it going to take? He goes, what? I go, for me to get thrown out here today. He goes, oh, you know. So I called him the word. There's 2 words that make 1 word. And when you use that combination, it's automatic. I got tossed. It was like 3 minutes into the game. And, of course, Jimmy Roberts was my head coach, and he's losing it on the ref. You can't throw him out. It's his first shift of the game. You son of a... All this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm skating up. I'm like, yeah, it's BS, Jimmy. It's BS.
See you guys
Get back
later.
to the
This guy's
locker
real
room.
sensitive today.
Drinking a coffee, having a shower. That's it. And Jimmy still came back at the intermission. He was like, yeah, you got jobbed on that one. That guy's. I'm like, yeah, Jimmy. I wish I could be out there.
We're all fighting.
Yeah.
Guys, we just received a text from Bradford Bruns saying tarp removal is underway. They're planning to resume play at 3:20.
Whoa, Brad.
Oh,
You're an hour.
Bradford coming in and chopping BT at the
Jeez.
knees.
So which Brad do we believe?
I mean,
Brad Thompson or Bradford Bruns?
Bradford feels like, so you ever been around people that just feel like they are extremely intelligent on many things? Bradford Bruns feels that way to me. Like he knows many things, and even if he were wrong in this case, I'm still going to go with Bradford Bruns. Even though BT is down at the stadium, hell, Bradford Bruns might be at the stadium himself. I don't know. I'm going to go with Bradford.
Yeah, I got to go with Bradford, too.
He just knows he's a wealth of knowledge.
He
just
is.
Uses big words that sometimes I have to Google to find the meaning.
Yeah, I don't know if
And
he's
so-
insulting me or not.
I don't think I think it's just him.
Well, one of the
You know,
nicest guys, too.
Yes, he is.
Bradford
He is
Bruns.
awesome.
Great
So-
at content, NFL nudes and notes.
Nudes and
Nudes
notes.
and
Yep,
notes,
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
I mean, it was appreciated-ish.
Yeah.
Hey, Bradford Bruns.
Yeah. All right. So we're thinking 3:20 then, because we're going with Bradford Bruns. 3:20 for the game to resume. Cardinals right now trailing the Orioles 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th.
I just saw the word that Jamie used.
Yeah. You call him that, you're guaranteed to get tossed, Carey.
You just got to know it. Got to know what it is. Magic word. What is the tricky part of tearing it down and rebuilding, especially if you're a team like the Blues? That's next on 101 ESPN. Rained again last night, raining again today. How's your roof looking? If it's got some damage, we're out in South County. There was some hail damage. There's some hail that was storming last night. If you got any issue going on with your roof, you got to give my friends at The Happy Roof a call. Happy Roof Company does a tremendous job of supplying roofs, fixing roofs, residential and commercial roofing. It doesn't matter. And if your home was hit by the recent hailstorms, they can do a hail inspection for you. If you have a leaky roof, an old roof, a damaged roof, an ugly roof, Happy Roof Company should be your first call, because if you call today, the Happy Roof Company will have someone out to look at your issue within 24 hours. If you need an entirely new roof, no problem. Financing options available from the Happy Roof Company. They have the most up-to-date product knowledge, superior high-end products that they use, 10-year labor warranty on all shingle roofs, and 100% of their market is done within the St. Louis and the surrounding areas. In fact, their headquarters right there out in Sunset Hills. Free estimates, competitive pricing. Give the Happy Roof a call. 314-665-3001. Visit them, thehappyroof.com online. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's the Happy Roof Company.
Our plan and our goal is to remain competitive with the team we have now and growing internally and maybe some from the outside as we build a team for the future. And I don't mean a long time, to truly contend for a cup. But to do so, to get there without going to rock bottom, to remain competitive along the way.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. That was Tom Stillman, who joined the opening drive earlier today right here on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. 3:03, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Some great stuff from Tom Stillman, including Tom talking about the tricky part about tanking and why they see different routes in order to contend. Here's Tom Stillman.
You know, as in any business, it's those marginal consumers and dollars that really make the difference between, making ends meet and not. Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, I mean, I don't mean to suggest that's the only reason we're going this way. If we thought that was the only way that we could get to the promised land and become a contender again, we'd probably do it. If there's one route and that's it, we just don't believe that. We believe that Actually, the Blues and Doug have shown for a number of years that they've been able to remain competitive despite not getting the real top draft choices year after year. And, in fact, I think that's shown by the last few years. I mean, our prospect pool has changed dramatically over the last 2 years. Suddenly adding 4 first-round draft choices last year, adding Bolduc before that and Snuggerud before that. We think we can do this. If we didn't think this would work, we wouldn't be going this way, this in-between way of remaining competitive while we build back up to a competitor.
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it, guys. My take is this. I think we as fans tend to only look at the successes when teams tank. And I don't care if it's the NHL or Major League Baseball. It's a little tougher, I think, to tank in the NFL, but you can. When it comes to like baseball tanking, we know about the Astros, we know about the Cubs. But there's a lot of teams that select in the top 5, in the top 10 every single year that it just doesn't pan out. The Orioles, I know, have done a great job. But you have to pick the right players. You have to pick the right skill sets, the right combination of players. They also have to stay healthy. The Astros, when they tanked, 2 of their 3 picks when they had the number 1 overall pick, 2 of the 3 didn't pan out at all. So you have to know how to still scout, develop those players. There's a lot of teams that tank that it doesn't work. We only remember when it does work. So going back to what Tom Stillman said, I appreciate a team that doesn't want to kind of fast-track things, take the easy way out, tank, lose a bunch of ball games, alienate the fan base, and then try to win in 4 or 5 years. They're trying to do it that middle ground where they supplement some free agents, they have their draft picks develop, and then hopefully it all comes together.
Yeah, to your point, Anthony, if you look at some of these teams just in the NHL, isolate the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres, it has been like, I don't even know how many years since they've made a playoff appearance. They have been in tank mode for like a decade.
Yeah.
And that fan base is miserable about it. The Montreal Canadiens, their fan base has been very patient, but it's been a bit there for them too, this rebuild that they're going through. The Ottawa Senators, we saw the frustrations boiling over there this year because they were supposed to finally be a playoff team, and they weren't. They underachieved. The Columbus Blue Jackets are perennial bottom feeders. Like, some of these teams just have no chance here for 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know if I want that for my team here in St. Louis.
Right.
And it's not a guarantee that 4 or 5 years from now you've got a playoff team. I mean, the Ottawa Senators, to me, are the best example. Look at all the number 1 top draft picks that they have in that lineup.
Right.
And they still can't crack the code to get into the playoffs.
Yep.
So based on what Tom Stillman said, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday too, is there's going to be a blend. You're going to have the veteran guys, and they're going to be incorporating youth to the lineup in where they can add on to this team with either an unrestricted free agent or a trade. Is going to be a mid-level player. It's not going to be, coming over the top with the sledgehammer for no reason. Like, let's say you go spend 8, 9, 10 million on a player, a premier forward. Do you still think that that's the big difference maker? Like, do you think the team's an automatic to make the playoffs?
No.
Can't be. You're just not. You're still too many pieces away from being a contender, let alone a playoff team. I think the Blues came close this year, but I think over the course of the season, you saw where their deficiencies were within the group, and that's why you got a splash of youth at the end of the season, because you had to see, can they play? Can they be the next level in this retool/rebuild? So, yeah, I think the best recipe for all of this is to incorporate as much youth as you can into your lineup, but youth that can help your team, not youth that's going to help you tank.
Right.
And I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for Army, for Drew Bannister, and for Tom Stillman in the group, is finding the young guys that are legit players that help your hockey club, and not just force-feeding young guys into the lineup to get them experience while you lose games.
Carey, the other way to look at this is, if you do select in the top of the draft, whatever sport it is, theoretically, you do have an opportunity to get the best young players, the best cost control players, and rebuild quickly. It's not a guarantee because they do have to pan out. Those players have to pan out. They have to stay healthy. They have to be culture players, guys that you want to build around. But it has worked. I've mentioned a couple of times it has worked for various teams. You can build that way. Are you on that side, or do you fall more in line with no? You got to continue to try to win.
If you understand and your fan base understands that if you're going to rebuild, it's a full youth movement. You're going younger guys, and you're going to lose.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while for those younger players to become veterans, to know how to play, to be professionals, how to have success. It takes a while when you're saying we're going to go a full rebuild, and we're going youth. We're going to get rid of some of the higher contracts, some of the older players, and we're going to let Dalibor Dvorsky make his mistakes. We're going to allow Matthew Kessel to make his mistakes. We're going to allow Bullduk and Dean to they're going to have some nights where it does not look good, and you're just saying, you know what, we're going to go that route, and eventually in 3 to 5 years, preferably, hopefully it doesn't take any longer than that, we're going to be a really good team.
Yeah.
But who wants to sit around and wait that long? It brings to me the 76ers trust the process. Like, Jamie, you talked about you don't know if it's going to work. It didn't work for them. Like, they started with Michael Carter-Williams, then they drafted Embiid, Jahlil Okafor, Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz. Like, the only one that's still there is Joel Embiid. And they kept telling their fans, trust the process. They didn't win a championship and still haven't. Like, now Joel Embiid has been an MVP. They've had some success. Ben Simmons, I don't know where the hell he is, if he's even playing basketball. The Brooklyn Nets are like, I don't know what's going on. But that's what they asked for their fans, to trust the process, and it looked good. It looked like, oh, man, this is going to be really good for our team and our future. And the only person there still from those names that they drafted in the first round is Joel Embiid. And so what you're looking at is that you're asking your fan base to show up, support, trust that we're going to have success. But at the end of the day, some of these guys might not be here, and we may never win a championship, but we want you to believe that it's possible. And most people don't want to deal with that when you're dealing with a rebuild.
One thing, too, you can't overlook is the finances either of being a team that misses the playoffs for several years.
Especially in hockey, right?
In hockey, it's a big deal. You budget your season. Your entire fiscal year is based around the regular season. So the gravy train is the playoffs. And when you're a mid-market team like the Blues, you have a great ownership group, but it's not like MSG or Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment. They don't have pockets from here to wherever. They've got to be responsible with their dollars. I think it's important, and Army has said this. He said it not this offseason, last offseason, about he's got a responsibility to try and keep this team in the playoffs in order to help the revenues for the ownership and also reward the fans with a team that's playing in the playoffs every year.
Right.
Now, it's been 2 years in a row they've missed the playoffs. That's 2 full years of revenue, or playoff revenue, rather, that has been missed. And Tom Stillman says, if we thought that was the best model, we'd do it, but it's not all based on money. However, that
we
want
to make some.
You'd like to stay competitive.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the key. And I think that you can do it. The LA Kings had a bit of a drop off this year, and they scratched and clawed to get into the playoffs. But I think it was like 1 or 2 years where they missed the playoffs, and then they retooled using a lot of veteran players, some young guys, and made some really smart moves, and they got themselves back in the playoffs. Did they win anything? No, but they didn't have to go through that painful, dreaded rebuild that some teams have to go through. I think that, again, I know that Army has used the LA Kings as a possible model for what they want to do, but using that model requires you to make sure you have more positives than negatives with your decisions. So if you're going to bring in a mid-tier player that you think can help your lineup, it has to be a player that moves the ball forward, that helps your team. You can't miss as much when you're doing it that way.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. Does the Cardinals rotation have enough to sustain a full season? Depending on which pitcher you're talking about. That's next on 101 ESPN.
As the year goes on, you're going to go through ups and downs in the season where, you're fighting certain things. Last night I was in a good spot. I was able to make all pitches and move the ball around the way I needed to. I mean, you're looking at our bullpen, top to bottom. If we put them in the right spots and go deep into games, we're going to be all right. So, we've got all the makings for, making a run here. Starters just got to keep doing their things, play good defense, score runs, and we're going to be all right.
That was Lance Lynn from last night. Lance Lynn pitched very well in that game last night before he was suspended. The question is, and this kind of goes back to the conversation we had earlier today. The question is, can the Cardinals pitching, can this be, is it sustainable? It depends on who you're talking about. Sonny Gray, I think, is absolutely sustainable. I think what Lance Lynn is doing, a lot of the expected numbers are all there. The advanced metrics are all there. Miles Michaelis, fortunately and unfortunately, he's got a high ERA. The FIP is better, but it's still in a bad range. I mean, he's still knocking on the door of 5, whether you're looking at ERA or FIP. Kyle Gibson at some point may have a bit of a regression. And then the 5th spot, of course, is completely up in the air. Steven Matz has been cleared to throw, but he has not been durable at all. And Matthew Liberatore, unfortunately, in his I don't know how many times this is now, 3rd, 4th opportunity to be a starter the last couple of years, and look good. So do you guys have faith in this starting rotation being sustainable?
No, I said it earlier. I said that's my biggest concern. I stand by it. I mean, the only guy that I feel warm and fuzzy about on the bump there is Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
When he's out there, and he's had a couple of bad outings, but I mean, that's going to happen over the course of a season. Mm-hmm. But every time he's on the bump, I don't even really worry about things. I figure we're going to get a real competitive game out of Sonny Gray. He's going to give his team a chance to win a ball game.
Yeah.
Now, I like Kyle Gibson a lot. I think that he's a great guy. I think he's a great teammate. I think he battles. He takes the ball whenever he has to. He'll pitch as many innings as you need him to help the bullpen, all of that stuff. But are you handing him the ball with the confidence that your team has a real legit chance to win a ball game just based on pitching?
Yeah, I think everybody in this rotation, save for the 5th spot, is competitive. But I'm not willing. If you're phrasing it, Jamie, and I think you're phrasing it the way that I often look at starting pitching, which is like in a playoff series.
Yes.
Do you feel comfortable handing the ball to your top 3 guys to win that series? I mean, to really win it.
So who are your top 3 guys? Sonny Gray, 1. Then what?
As of right now, it would be
probably Lance Lynn, Kyle
Gibson.
So
yeah,
the fact that you had to pause and think and wonder who it would be probably answers that question. It goes back to what I said earlier when I was like, Sonny Gray and Lance Lynn and
right.
Kyle.
But do you guys feel like they can be competitive? Because I do.
Yeah, I feel like they can be competitive. But that doesn't mean
give you a chance to win over 5 or 6 innings, not be dominant
consistently,
but not get their what ripped.
I think the concern is you don't know. Like with Sonny Gray, when he had a couple of bad starts, you're like, okay,
yeah.
But you felt more confident about him having a great bounce back. I think it's the other way with the other 2. Like. And if they have a good game, like, okay, can they do it?
Right. Can you do it again?
It's bad when usually you're like, oh man, he had a bad game. Like that's a surprise.
Yeah.
We're like, ooh, he had a good game. Huh?
Yeah. And nothing, I think it's just where they are in their career. They're both, speaking of Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, they're both a little bit older, longer in the tooth, and that comes with the territory. The older you get, the harder it becomes. And they had, gave up a lot of hits last year, gave up a lot of home runs last year. And so, can they do it? Yes. Can they do it consistently? I don't know. Mm-hmm. And I think that becomes the concern.
Yeah, and the concern for me overall is the mentality of the front office. So you've got 2 guys that are almost in identical spots in their career in Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. And we're sitting here with these question marks like, can they be consistent? Why were those questions not asked in the boardroom?
Maybe they were. And maybe the answer was, yeah, they can be. Can we give a shout to Bradford Bruns? Because he was correct about 320.
Nice job.
Oh, yeah, the game started 2 minutes ago.
Yep.
So nice job, Bradford.
And Nolan Arenado comes back, and it's a double.
Nice.
First at bat. Cardinals trail now 3-0, but Cole Irvin is now in the game for Baltimore. And
not doing well.
Arenado, again, doubles to
one batter.
Lead off the fourth inning. The bottom of the fourth. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's weird because you look at some of the numbers. I feel like I'm caught in this spot where I thought the starting pitching was going to be much worse. So I want to give credit where credit is due. The starting pitching hasn't been terrible. Mm-hmm. It's been solid. But do I feel confident the rest of the way in the entire rotation? No. Miles Michaelis has not pitched well.
I just worry that because they've dug such a hole.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. What he said.
Because they've dug themselves such a hole, Anthony, they're going to need rock star pitching more often than not to give themselves a chance here. And I know they're just a game and a half out of the wild card, but those other teams are going to try and win some ball games too. At least I think they will. It's tough to tell right now. But
you would think.
You just would like to have at least 2 or 3 pitchers in your 5-man rotation where you're like, 3 out of the 5 days, we're going to have a chance to win baseball games. Not like I hope we have a chance to win 3 out of 5 games.
Right.
I don't know. I'm uncertain about it all.
We got a text from the 618. Trevor Bauer would fit nice in that 5th spot. Can we put that to bed now? Because John Mosaic essentially said it ain't happening.
Yeah, I didn't really like his answer.
Yeah,
either.
He said it ain't happening.
He just said. Carey, say what he said. He goes, the moral compass, I'm not sure if it fits. Okay, so you're not basing it off of the player. You're worried about the backlash.
The perception.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And he said, I don't want to seem desperate or that we have to win so badly, which I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm. You don't think it's a level of desperation? Is the level
Carey,
of desperation not as high as you feel like it needs to be?
At some point, if the level of desperation is there, if the willingness to win is there, you're going to overlook some things. There are lots of teams in the NHL, NFL, NBA that have overlooked some things to win.
I got a friend that says your game got to be bigger than your problems.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I think we all have some of those friends.
And to your point, what you have often said is that if you sign him and he's a problem, you just cut him.
Just get rid of him.
Just
but then is it even worth it? That would be the concern. Like you
how would it not be, Carey? Right now,
if he's a problem,
you're spending money on pitchers that aren't even good.
I'm not. Hey.
He turned on you, didn't he, Carey?
Hey, Jamie.
Yeah,
that Carey started. He poked.
He does. He turns on me often, and I try to.
You set me up for that.
I try to befriend him every day in the office and be kind.
It's not true.
Say nice words.
Yeah.
I came in today. He said, "What the hell are you looking at?" I said, "What the hell are you looking at?"
Well, that's how we greeted exactly how that went down, by the way.
Carey,
that's cherry picking.
Let's take a step back.
That's how we greeted each other when we came in the office today.
I believe what you said was, Jamie, great haircut. Look like you got a fresh new
looking
look.
Great.
You trimmed up the beard, man. You look great. And Jamie said,
"What the hell are you?
Yeah.
The hell are you looking at?
Why are you looking at me that way?"
I don't know.
It's not true. Carey came in. I had one headphone in. The fan is blasting in the other side, and he said something, and then I said something, and we did not. And I said, "What? What the hell do you want?" And then he says, "What the hell do you want?" So let's at least keep it on the level here.
That is right. That is something like that.
All right, we've got Prove Me Wrong next. So if you have a 314-399-9646 Air Comfort Service text line statement that you want us to prove you wrong and have Andrew Marsh decide whether or not we won the case or not, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line. Prove Me Wrong next. You know, kitchen renovations are one of the most popular home improvement projects, and they often offer a high return on investment. So when you upgrade appliances, cabinets, countertops, and fixtures, they can all improve the functionality, the aesthetics, and the value of your home. Now is the time, if you're even thinking about, if you're even considering remodeling your kitchen. Give my friends at Mosby Building Arts a call because they have their Mosby Great Kitchen Escape $2,500 Airbnb gift card with any kitchen remodel. And it's good for now through the end of June. So when you call in, and you can call in on June 30th if you want, but you have to just call in before you make your appointment, you're going to get that $2,500 Airbnb gift card with a kitchen remodel. Again, now till June 30th. With Mosby's Great Kitchen Escape. So upgrade your look and feel of your kitchen. Work with the best team. They'll help you redo your kitchen, remodel it, get all the aspects that you want. They'll wait till all of your materials come in for your project. Then they'll start to guarantee that they can work efficiently and make sure that you're left with the best kitchen that you dreamt of when you sat down with Mosby. Give them a call right now. Tell them Stalter sent you. 314-909-1800. Again, 314-909-1800. You also visit callmosby.com. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
.101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards took game number 2 of this series against the Baltimore Orioles. It finished up earlier today. 3-1 was the final score. They're looking for the sweep. However, they are trailing 3-0 in the top of the 5th inning against Baltimore right now. We'll continue giving you updates throughout the remainder of the day. But coming up next, we have Prove Me Wrong. So if you have a Prove Me Wrong statement you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Prove Me Wrong. Coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
All right, time to play Prove Me Wrong in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Judge, you look fantastic as always. Appreciate you having us back.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
So Judge Andrew Marshall, what's our first case?
Yeah, this should be a good one. From the 636, Prove Me Wrong. The Blues front office cares more about winning its fans and associates more with the working class people than Bozo and DeWallet.
Oh, I don't know how you could say that at all. I mean, when you're looking at Bozo and DeWallet, I don't see a ballpark village that was designed by the Blues at all.
Yeah, correct.
You know, that was for the fans. So you could go, you can enjoy yourself. You can watch, you can watch your Cardinals, your Blues, City, Battlehawks.
Yeah.
Great food, good entertainment, different concerts. I'm sorry, I thought that was for the fans too. Let me think about what the Blues have. Oh, that's right. Nothing. Because they don't care about the fans or the fan base, which is the same thing. So, yeah, Ballpark Village alone proves that the Cardinals ownership group and their president of baseball operations knows. Okay.
Oh, man.
By the way, listen to the Blues right here on your home of the Blues.
Yes.
101 ESPN.
Yes. Yeah, you weren't winning that one. Nope. From the 314, Prove Me Wrong. Dallas is screwed because the NHL wants Connor McDavid in the finals, unlike the NFL making sure the Chiefs and Taylor Swift, Tay-Tay, made the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Dallas Stars don't give a crap about Connor McDavid or what the NHL thinks they want. Jim Nill and that Dallas Stars team, they're built to win. And it doesn't matter what the referees do out there. If the NHL tries to mess with things, Dallas Stars are too good, too deep. They got great goaltending, great defensive core. I mean, it would have to be embarrassingly obvious that the NHL is making sure that Connor McDavid gets himself into the finals. And if that's the case, then really the NHL's risking viewership and the authenticity of what we determine to be, what I believe, the best playoffs in all sports, the hardest cup to win. And that would be in jeopardy if they did something so silly.
All right.
Jamie. Proud of you.
There you go.
By the way, to Gary in the Snake Pit asking me, they care about our morals. What do you mean? Listen, even lawyers sometimes have to take on cases where they know their client is guilty.
Yeah.
You do the best you can, but at the end of the day, it's just a game.
You're telling me that wasn't your actual belief? You didn't believe in what you were saying?
It was. As your co-counsel, you don't have to answer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Plead the fifth.
So you can't recall.
Yep. I don't know.
Trust me.
I misremembered.
Somebody's been in court a few times.
I misremembered what happened there,
I
Judge.
recall that.
Yeah.
All right, Roger. From the 636, Prove Me Wrong. 20 years from now, when people are browsing the interwebs for baseball stats, they will all come to the conclusion that Colby Rasmus had a better career than Jordan Walker.
I mean, I don't know how they would come to that conclusion when Jordan Walker's career is going to be stellar. I mean, he's going to win a couple of MVPs. He's going to be your third baseman whenever Nolan Arenado decides to retire. He's got a cannon, I'm sure, to throw it from third to first. He's going to be one of those guys that go down. I don't know if you know this. There's numbers on the wall in the outfield, right, for the St. Louis Cardinals. His is going to be on there. Is Colby's there? No, it's not. I'll answer it for you.
Dad's name's out there.
It may be because,
It's scratched into the wall.
He put it in there himself.
Colby.
There you go.
Yeah.
But Colby Rasmus, when we look at the numbers and just the legacy of one Jordan Walker, what he's going to do, it's going to be outstanding. He's going to be stellar. MVPs, All-Star games. Yeah, no. 20 years from now, they'll be Colby. They won't remember Colby Rasmus. They remember Jordan Walker.
And I think they'll generally feel like Jordan Walker was less annoying overall.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just going to read off some stats real quick. Colby Rasmus, this is his career statistics. Batting average, 241. 166, that's how many home runs he hit. 891 hits. His WAR was 20.2 and had 491 ribbies. Slugging percentage, 436. You know what? I think you're right, Carey.
There you go.
There you go, Carey.
Thank
nice
you.
job, kid.
Yep. Appreciate it.
All right, here we go. From the 314, prove me wrong. Cardinal fans live too much in the past. Only 2 World Series in over 40 years. The Cubs have half as many in the last 40. Walk out. Don't come back until they fix it.
Huh?
Judge, you're gonna have to read that again.
Can you reread that, sir?
Yeah, please.
Prove me wrong. Cardinal fans live too much in the past.
I mean, when you think about history, what do you want to go with? In the past,
World Series titles, of course.
World Series titles matter. And how many organizations have more than the Cardinals?
None in the National League.
None. Only one in Major League Baseball. So why wouldn't you think about the legacy, the history, the names, as I just said, on the wall, the numbers.
Birds on the bat.
The birds on the bat, that Anthony loves when it says the Lou, because that's where we are. We're in the Lou.
Well, it's connecting the team to the city.
To all of it. Every team, right? We are one, and that's what we're doing. So you think about the past, because if you don't know the past, then you're going to make the mistakes that you made in the past in the future. So you want to be successful, you know what the history is. You know the great parts and the bad parts. It's the only way to make sure, going forward, you continue to have great success.
And when's the last time the Yankees won the World Series?
09.
09. So it's been a while, huh?
Been a while.
I consider them to be a very historic franchise, and people still look up to that franchise. People reminisce in the past all the time about the Yankees.
So.
I mean,
they reminisce about the Red Sox.
You can continue. When's the last time the Cowboys won a World Championship?
Seriously.
How about them Cowboys?
95? Like, Marshy, were you even, Honorable Judge Marshy, were you even born then?
I was not.
All right. So people
neither was Mike Ryder, apparently.
Clearly, right?
Happy birthday to my brother.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Sure.
Sure.
Carey, I thought you were going to, at one point, launch into, ask not what your country can do for you.
What your Cardinals can do for you.
And here's my line of thinking. I do think some people go back to 2006, 2011, and they think, well, hey, we can do this. We did it 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
It'll work again.
However, the Cardinals have won 2 World Series in this century. A lot of teams can't say the same. So I think we need to take a step back, enjoy what we've had.
Yeah.
And really enjoy it, because I don't know if that's going to.
Judge.
Anyways,
Judge,
let me just move on here.
Sorry. You got a little off track.
Sorry, I was playing my own game. From the 618, prove me wrong. The NBA does not want the Indiana Pacers in the finals.
Of course they want the Indiana Pacers in the finals. They want to make sure that they connect with their Midwest roots.
Let me stop you right there. After what I watched last night, I don't even know if the Indiana Pacers want to be in the finals.
Listen,
Why do I keep getting the cases where the guy is on film committing murder?
Both teams were terrible last night, and neither wanted to
Anthony
win.
thinks it's AI.
Yeah.
His face is... Yeah.
That's your defense.
It's not my client. It's AI. Clearly. Yeah, that was easily the biggest collapse in sports history. In sports playoff history.
To begin with?
The biggest. We now can refer to the Pacers as the team that blew the biggest lead ever.
So last night I'm watching that game, and there was one person that I was thinking of, and it was our guy, Carey Davis. Because Indiana turns that ball over, Boston gets the ball back, and Jaylen Brown hits a three-pointer to send it to overtime. He then picks up 2 more points and gets over 25 and a half points.
Excited.
Carey won his bet the board
I was so
pick.
excited.
Nice job, Carey.
Congratulations to Carey.
Nice.
Thank you, Jaylen. Needed it.
Nice.
Needed it.
Good for you. Oh, good for you.
All right. From the 714, prove me wrong. Both the Cardinals and City SC will end their seasons below 500.
Both the Cardinals and City SC?
Prove it wrong.
Jamie, you.
What's that?
The Cardinals will not finish below 500, and they will not, and City SC will not finish below 500. That's your case. So, you know what? Here's the thing, Judge. Cardinals.
Can't take every case.
Have you seen this offense? Have you seen the way it's been rolling of late?
Yeah, Masyn Winn leading off now.
Masyn Winn
double.
Leading off. They're storming back in games. They're winning series.
Storming.
That's an easy one. City? Ho, ho, ho. making moves, bringing in players to the pitch, putting them in them boots, and they're scoring or defending. They got Roman Berkey. They got other guys too, just doing incredible work down there. And hell, they're not losing a lot of games too. There's a lot of draws, so you can't finish below 500 if you're going to draw. Know what I mean? And they're drawing fans too, because it's the best fan base in the whole MLS.
The BFIC.
Yeah, that's correct.
Or S.
Yes. Yeah.
Best fans in city.
In city.
Sure. Right?
Hershey, the wheels watching it.
Hey, why don't we go ahead and move on?
Okay.
Yes,
Fair enough.
Judge.
That's proved me wrong there. The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What does Pavel Buchnevich's future look like in St. Louis? We'll talk about that next. the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What is Pavel Buchnevich's future in St. Louis?
Oh, I don't know, Anthony. What do you think?
Well, how about we hear from Tom Stillman before we get into what we think?
Oh, all right. Go ahead, Tom.
Since, he owns the team.
Let Tom talk, please.
Tom Stillman via the opening drive earlier today on 101 ESPN.
I suppose you'd start with a blanket statement. Who doesn't want to have Buchnevich on their team? He's a great player, and and both sides of the puck. I mean, he's. It becomes a question of what makes sense with a player who I think will be 30 when his free agency comes around. Does that fit with our stage where we are, and especially what term does it take? Term is tough at that age. And so, a lot of factors will go into determining whether that makes sense for our team at that time.
All right. So, Jamie?
Well, I think Tom just gave you the answer, quite honestly. He basically said, and I'll translate, if Pavel Buchnevich is ready and willing to do a 4-year deal or 3-year deal, we're all in. Mm-hmm. We'll do it. If he's looking for a 6, 7, or 8-year deal, we're probably not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't blame the organization. He's going to be 30 years old. He plays a really solid, tough brand of hockey. He plays power play, penalty kill. At what point do the horses start to slow down a little bit? You don't want to be married to a $7 or $8 million contract, to which the back half of that contract, you're getting limited usage out of the player. Now, would the Blues possibly go to 5 years if the AAV could come down a little bit and Pavel Buchnevich and his agent were reasonable? Yeah, they could possibly do that. But I just don't see Army and this organization going more than that. Like, he made $5.8 million this year on the cap. What is Pavel Buchnevich? What's his value at? Like, some people I hear 8.5. I don't see that. I like him a lot as a player. I like him a lot as a teammate and all that stuff. I think he's great. But like $8.5 million, I guess that's just Robert Thomas territory where you're up to that 90-ish to 100 points.
Yeah.
And Buch, he's had a couple of good seasons here for the Blues, but his point totals are down. He's had some health issues. Not major, catastrophic injuries, but his first season with the Blues, 73 games, 76 points. I mean, that was a fantastic year. But since then, 63 games, 67 points, 80 games last year, 63 points. Mm-hmm. So I just don't know if 63 points equals $8 million to me, let alone 8 times 8.
Well, yeah. You're not just collecting talents. You're building a team. Mm-hmm. So let's just say you figure out, you do all the calculations and you say, yeah, you know what, 8.5, that's worth it for Pavel Buchnevich. But is it worth it on this team when you haven't made the playoffs the last 2 years and clearly you're deficient in certain areas of your roster? Can you build enough with Pavel Buchnevich at that price? That's the question. It's not, would you like to have Pavel Buchnevich on your roster? Of course.
Right. Yeah, but there's too many elements that are attached to it.
Exactly. And do you want to build a complete roster while adding Pavel Buchnevich at 8.5? No, you can't.
And in my opinion, your highest paid player should be your best player.
I agree 100%.
So if you're giving him 8.5,
inflation does happen when you talk about league, but it should be 3 or 4 years into your best player.
Generally
contract.
speaking, your best player is the highest paid player on your team, and if Pavel Buchnevich is getting paid 8.5 or even 8, which is right there with Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas, he has to play at that level because, again, it eats up too much of your cap, and now you're unable to spend that money elsewhere. So there are expectations of you when you're being paid at the top of the team.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's a couple of interesting developments in the last week or so. The Carolina Hurricanes eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they had their media day. And on their media day, they announced a multi-year contract extension for Rod Brind'Amour and his entire staff. I think it was a 4 or 5 year deal for all of them, to which I thought that was going to be the case anyways. You're not going to let a guy like that walk. But following that, Jacob Slavin and Seth Jarvis were on camera with the media talking about how they love playing in Carolina. They love the atmosphere. They love what they're building. And they understand that taking less might mean more for the team.
Okay.
I'm wondering if this is one of those cases where Army goes to Buch and says, listen, we'll give you the 5 years, or maybe even go 6 years. So you feel nice and warm and fuzzy with 6 years as term. But we're going to bring it down. We're going to give you like average of $6 million a year. We'll have some fluctuation throughout the contract, so some years are better than others. But we're going to build. We're going to be able to build around you so that your time in St. Louis, because Buch loves playing in St. Louis. That I can tell you. He loves the people here. He loves playing here. He loves everything about it. And if you can get a guy like that to buy into maybe taking a little bit less so you can rebuild this thing faster, then maybe that's a possibility. People say, oh, you're never going to do that. But when you listen to a team like the Carolina Hurricanes, who have had nothing but success as far as regular season and whatnot over the last, 3 years, you got players now that are like clamoring almost. Like Jacob Slavin should be like, yeah, I'm going to be a free agent. Cha-ching, I'm about to get paid.
Instead, he's saying,
I'd rather
something.
Stay.
Yeah, we're building something good.
I don't know.
So what do the Blues do if they're in a position like they were the year before the Cup, where they're right in the mix of things with the playoffs, but Doug Armstrong doesn't necessarily think they're a Cup-winning team? Do they go and trade Pavel Buchnevich to at least get something in return if he is asking for too much?
I think Army will wait on this one unless the return is really great. I think he'll wait, and it'll be a deadline type deal. Because a player like Pavel Buchnevich, and you just heard Tom Stillman talk about it, playing on both sides of the puck, like it's not a dream come true, but that's an ideal hockey player. That's when an average team or a slightly below average team can play above what they're supposed to play because they have players that are good on both sides of the puck. If you trade Buch, you might get a good return for it, but are you getting equal value player right now? Probably not. And so if there's a home run deal that's out there, then yeah, Army will obviously take it. He's done that before, and that's a no-brainer. But if there isn't a home run deal, I think that Army might wait a little bit, try to continue discussions with Pavel Buchnevich, see how he's playing, all that stuff. And then worst-case scenario, if your team is out of it come trade deadline time, maybe then you move on from the player.
Is it possible that they hold on to him, they don't re-sign him, but they could trade away his rights before free agency opens up just to get something out of Buchnevich?
You're not going to get anything there. You'd have to trade with the team that is going to be re-signing him. So you'd have to allow the player to basically talk to the team and negotiate a contract. And then knowing so, you've got a slight bit of leverage.
Right.
You get maybe a fourth rounder for him or something like that. But those trades where the rights get traded before the free agency, very seldom do they work out unless the player already has a deal in place with that team.
It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. We've got the Gauntlet next. Do we have a Gauntlet contestant?
We do.
All right, there we
Jeff
go.
is going to join us today.
Sounds good. Jeff will have his opportunity to take on either Marsh, Carey, Jamie, or me next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and I got big news from Window Nation. It is their semi-annual sale now through May 31st, and it's a really big deal. For a limited time only, Window Nation is celebrating by giving you 50% off of all windows, along with 0% interest for 5 years, plus an additional bonus savings offer when you schedule an appointment now. If your old windows leak water, have condensation, maybe they're moldy or rotten, they get hot to the touch, or you're just tired of paying high utility bills for heating and cooling, that is a big deal. And with Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace your windows and save a big deal as well. Hurry. This month only, get 50% off of all windows plus 0% interest for 5 years and a bonus savings offer when you schedule that appointment today. Put an end to your window problems. Get them installed before the the summer heat, and they can get that window installed in 1 day or less. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty, so reach out to the pros right now to schedule a fast, no-obligation in-home estimate with Window Nation. It's easy. Call 866-90-NATION or visit them online at windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION or visit them online at windownation.com.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. It is 4 p.m. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jeweler, an official provider of Rolex jewelry. It's time for the Gauntlet. We got a new contestant today. We got Jeff on the line. Jeff, how we doing, bud?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So, all right. You know how it works, Jeff. You pick your opponent, and you have your choice of the group here today.
All right. Let's go against Jamie. Let's go against you.
Oh.
Going against Jamie.
All right, Jeff. Well, I'm going to hand it over then here to Anthony Stalter. He's going to drive it the rest of the way. Jeff, good luck, man.
Thanks.
All right, so Jeff is taking on Jamie. Jamie's going to make his way into the cone of silence right now. Jeff, go ahead and tell Andrew Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel, Andrew.
What are we hoping for, Jeff?
I'd like football would be nice. Maybe some baseball.
Football and baseball. Carey, you can see it. I cannot.
He got one of his choices.
Ooh, what is it?
It is baseball.
Baseball. All right, Jeff. So you got baseball today. How you feel?
Let's see.
Okay. All right. Cautious approach.
You shall receive.
Cautious approach. I get that. So Jeff and Jamie are going to get the same 4 baseball questions today. Thank you, Carey.
Yep.
Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options or Jamie asked for the options, and therefore those questions become worth 1 point. Jeff, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Question 1. The Cardinals' Wilson Contreras made his Major League Baseball debut in June of 2016. Which current superstar was unanimously named that season's NL Rookie of the Year? So who won the Rookie of the Year in 2016?
Oh, man. Go ahead and give me the options.
Trey Turner, Corey Seager, Carlos Correa. So this is the NL Rookie of the Year in 2016. Trey Turner, Corey Seager, Carlos Correa.
Oh, man. I'm going to go ahead and say Carlos Correa.
Final answer?
Yep.
Question number 2. Besides Sonny Gray, 4 other starting pitchers in the National League have reached 6 wins. Aaron Nola, Tyler Glasnow, Chris Sale, and who else?
Go ahead and give me the options again.
Is it Shota Imanaga, Dylan Cease, or Ranger Suarez?
I'm going to go with Dylan Cease.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 3. Name the player who homered twice in Game 1 of the 1996 World Series between the Yankees and the Braves.
I'm sorry, it kind of cut out there. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, no worries. Name the player who homered twice in Game 1 of the 1996 World Series between the Yankees and the Braves.
Go ahead and give me the options again.
Options are Andrew Jones, Jim Leyritz, or Chipper Jones.
Oh, man, I know Leyritz. He had a big home run in one of those games, but I don't remember him too. I thought Andrew Jones set the record for, youngest guy to hit a home run in a World Series. I'm going to go with Andrew Jones.
Final answer?
Final answer.
And final question, Jeff. Right before joining the Redbirds for their 2004 Fall Classic run, outfielder Reggie Sanders played where? Which team did he play for?
Man, I thought he played for the Cincinnati Reds. I'm going to go with that. Final answer.
All right. Let's bring back Jamie from the Cone of Silence right now. Jeff, how you feeling?
Not too good.
These are tough. Yeah, that's. I don't blame you on that one. By the way, the Cardinals have taken a 4-3 lead.
Look at us. Huh?
Cardinals have taken a 4-3 lead at Busch Stadium. How about that?
All right, how'd my guy Jeff do?
Oh, well, Jamie?
Yeah.
As we often say here.
Yeah.
Pack a lunch.
All right, let's go. Let's party.
All right, Jamie, your category is baseball. Are you ready?
I don't think he is.
Okay, sure.
All right, there he is.
Question 1, Jamie. The Cardinals' Wilson Contreras made his Major League Baseball debut in June of 2016. Which current superstar was unanimously named that season's NL Rookie of the Year? Who won NL Rookie of the Year in 2016?
I mean, I have a pretty good idea, but...
you want to narrow that list down?
Yeah, we'll just narrow it down just because.
Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Corey Seager. Carlos Correa.
Just some pretty good players. Trey Turner, Corey Seager, Carlos Correa. Well, let's go with Bob's son, Corey Seager. Final answer.
All right.
Bob Seager. All right.
Yeah.
Question number 2. Besides Sonny Gray, 4 other starting pitchers in the National League have reached 6 wins. Aaron Nola, Tyler Glasnow, Chris Sale, and who else?
Options.
Shota Imanaga, Dylan Cease, or Ranger Suarez?
I know Imanaga's had a good run, but I don't know. I did hear something about Suarez. Who's the other one?
Dylan Cease.
Oh, yeah, Dylan Cease. I don't think it's him. I'll go with Suarez. Final answer.
Question number 3. Name the player who homered twice in Game 1 of the 1996 World Series between the Yankees and the Braves.
Okay, 1996? Mm-hmm. Between the Yankees and the Braves. Player who homered twice. It's not Reggie Jackson, Anthony. Player that homered twice. In Game 1?
Game 1.
Does it matter?
It does. I'm creating this vibe, Anthony, you jerk.
Now, wait a minute. Was that Game 1?
Give me the options.
Options are Andrew Jones, Jim Leyritz, or Chipper Jones.
Of course, you give me both of the Jones. Andrew Jones, I don't think it was Leyritz. It could be Chipper Jones. Finkel and Einhorn. Finkel. I'll go Andrew Jones. Final answer.
And question number 4, Jamie. right before joining the Redbirds for their 2004 Fall Classic run, outfielder Reggie Sanders played where?
Options. My gosh.
The Royals, the Diamondbacks, or the Pirates?
Ooh. The Royals, the Diamondbacks. I think it was Royals. I have no idea. Pirates. Why do I feel like I can see him in a Pirates uniform? You ever do that? You picture somebody in a uniform, you think it works?
Mm-hmm.
It also kind of works with the Royals, too, but I don't think he played for the Royals. This is painful today, guys. I don't know. I'll go with the Pirates. Final answer. I have no freaking idea at all. I apologize to everyone who's listening. You are now dumber for having to listen to that.
Wow. Okay.
Apology accepted.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Jeff versus Jamie. Here we go. The Cardinals' Wilson Contreras made his Major League Baseball debut in June of 2016. Which superstar was named that season's NL Rookie of the Year?
Oh, superstar?
Jeff, with the options, you said Carlos Correa. Jamie, with the options, you said Corey Seager. Correct answer is...
It is Bob's son, Corey Seager.
It is Bob's son, Corey
Who's the
Seager.
other option again?
Trey Turner.
Okay, because when you said superstar, I was like, ooh, is Corey Seager a superstar?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Of course he is.
Is he a superstar?
Yeah, he's a superstar.
All right.
He's won a World Series MVP.
Yeah, but you know.
So has, a lot of people. Question 2. Besides Sonny Gray, 4 other starting pitchers in the National League have reached 6 wins. They are Aaron Nola. By the way, Masyn Winn with a solo tater.
Wow.
I picked him for the home run show.
So did I. Yeah, we both did today.
I did too.
The three-pointer.
Oh, I didn't write it down. It must not count.
Oh, no.
This guy's destroying baseballs.
5-3 right now. Cardinals over the Orioles in the bottom of the 7th as the Cardinals go for the sweep. Okay. So, besides Sonny Gray, 4 other starting pitchers in the National League have reached 6 wins. Aaron Nola, Tyler Glasnow, Chris Sale, and who else? Jeff, you went Dylan Cease. Jamie, you went Ranger Suarez. Correct answer is...
It's old Ranger Suarez.
9-0 with a 1.36 ERA for the Phillies this
I wonder
year.
they were talking about him.
So, Jamie's got a 2-1 lead.
Heard him talking about him. Don't
They
want
were.
to say it.
MLB Network. I was like, oh, okay.
So Jamie's got a 2-0 lead. Name the player who homered twice in Game 1 of the 96 World Series between the Yankees and the Braves. Jeff, you went Andrew Jones. Jamie, you went Andrew Jones. Correct answer is...
Andrew Jones.
Both of you needed the options. So, comes down to this. Right before joining the Redbirds for the 2004 Fall Classic run, outfielder Reggie Sanders played where? Jeff did not use the options. He said the Reds. Jamie, you used the options. You said the Pirates. If it's the Reds, we have a walk-off. If it's any other team in Major League Baseball, Jamie wins. Jeff.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Not today.
It was the Pirates.
Oh, all right.
Reggie Sanders did play for the Royals. He did play for the Diamondbacks. Yep.
I didn't think he played for the Royals.
And
the
Jeff,
Reds.
he did play for the Reds.
He
but
did?
that was 91-98. Yeah, so
Jeff,
you were
got
right.
jobbed.
You were right. He did play for the Reds, but not right before he joined the Cardinals. That was the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2003. Jeff, thanks for listening. Thanks for playing.
You bet. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
You too.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
So, Jamie, you said you apologized for all of this. You got every question right.
Yeah, but that I didn't know.
Clean sweep.
But I didn't know.
Clean sweep. My man knew every question.
I apologize.
For
absolutely nothing.
There you go. Cardinals up 5-3. All right, Masyn Winn. Got a star in the making here? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Timing. Are you looking to replace those nasty, old, inefficient windows? Then head over to Window World, preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. Window World windows are one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. They're also ranked number 1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. Window World offers a double-strength glass that gives it a strength that's just not commonly found in other replacement windows. So when it's hot out and it's cold out, you don't feel that coming through into your home. It makes it way more efficient, saving you money. They also have the lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, the glass breakage, and the labor, and they absolutely love taking care of their customers. Their technicians are fantastic at what they do. They get all the measurements right. They answer all your questions. Whatever you need, Window World has got you covered. And right now, they are offering 36 months, same as cash financing. All you have to do is pick up the phone, tell them Jamie Rivers from 101 sent you in, and call them at 314-993-1800. Again, that number is 314-993-1800, or visit them at windowworldstlouis.com.
Swing and a shot that's headed for the left field corner. That ball is up and gone. Home run for Masyn Winn. A line drive over the boards and left. The second home run of the season for young Masyn Winn. Goes down and gets it. A slider at the shoe tops. Talked about the home run's going to come for him. The power is going to come, and it's going to be because of the great approach.
There you go, Brad Thompson. Chip Carey on the call. Masyn Winn hit his second home run to make it 5-3 Cardinals. Currently heading into the top of the 8th against the Orioles. They're going for the sweep. Bird's going for the sweep.
Birds on the bat, baby.
Golfed that one out of there, too. It wasn't even like right down Broadway. You had to go down and grab it and put it out.
That was a Rafael Devers home run. I don't know how
impressive.
I don't know how one of the Devers home runs over the weekend, he hit 3. Now, I think he had 6 or 7 in a row. But the one where he golfed out, I'm like, how the hell? Man-childs. So Masyn Winn, he homered, second home run of the year now. Is Masyn Winn a star in the making?
Yes.
Like, can we start to hype him up? Because I feel like this is what happens. We get all excited, and then he goes on a losing streak, and then fans blame us, and then we have to blame them. It's a whole thing.
Did we blame them?
I will. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not believing.
I just hold everyone accountable.
Here's the thing, Carey. I just get a little tired of it sometimes because Jamie and I, we were talking about Juan Soto when Juan Soto, all the rumors were, Cardinals might be interested in Soto.
Yeah.
So we had the audacity to talk about it. Matthew Tkachuk could go to the Blues.
Get upset.
And then when they
Fans get
didn't,
mad.
because we talked about it, they blamed us.
It's the announcer jinx.
I listened to it. Jamie and I, we listened to it. And it was kind of weeks on end. And finally, I just turned around and blamed them for not believing.
You did, which was a very skillful move.
Thank you.
Yes.
Speaking of the announcer jinx, I told you the other night.
did.
I told you the other night.
So it was a no-hitter? What was
No-hitter.
Yeah.
No-hitter
No-hitter, home
going.
run.
And then what do you know? They mentioned a no-hitter, a couple errors, home run, no-hitter gone.
Well, Carey doesn't believe in stuff like that.
Carey does not.
Oh, you went third person.
I did. He did.
Wow. He sure did.
Twice.
Wow.
Holy smokes. Anyways, Masyn Winn.
Yeah, he is a star in the
Hall of
making.
Famer?
No, I don't. Anthony, why do you do that?
Slow
Just pump the
down.
friggin' brakes, bro. Maybe at some point, okay?
What do you think, first ballot?
Goodness gracious. How
I'm
about
on
we get him
board.
through his first full season?
I'm on board.
I'm on board, too. What the hell?
Yeah.
Order the jacket. No, when you look at Masyn Winn, we all knew about the defensive game that he had, and we talked about it a lot yesterday. How he's just, you never feel like he's out of a play, and he's just going to continue to get better and better and better at his position. And I think the biggest question mark, the biggest question mark coming into the season was offensively. And like to a man here in this studio, we were all like, as long as he doesn't hurt you at the plate, it doesn't really matter. We're fine. Well, not only is he not hurting you at the plate, he's one of your best hitters. He's an offensive weapon right now. He just hit today. So I pulled this up. I sent it to you guys in the group chat. The highest line drive rate in the National League this season. Top of the list is Mookie Betts with 35.3%.
Yeah, among shortstops, right?
No.
In baseball?
Period. Dot.
Shut your face.
No, you shut your face. I've got the thing pulled up. Why don't you let me talk? You'll see that it's not just shortstops when I go through the list.
Boy, somebody's
Well, you
cranky.
You hijacked my conversation, then you drug it off, and you don't even know.
He doesn't like when you cut him off. I would hate to see Jamie driving down Olive Boulevard here.
I just wanted to clarify.
Well, especially if he cuts me off and doesn't know where he's going. That's the worst part.
I just is it shortstop?
Where are we?
Seriously.
Is it shortstop?
I said no, and then you didn't believe me.
Yeah, no, okay.
Why'd you let me go through the list?
It's my fault. Okay. Let's take a step
Holy
back.
crap.
Please, for the listener's sake.
Yeah, I'm going to reset.
Reset because of my garbage mouth. Go ahead.
Run it back.
Well said. All right, so highest line drive rate in the NL this season by any player. Starting at the top, Mookie Betts, 35.3%. Next, Shohei Ohtani, clearly not a shortstop, at 33.1%. Then third, this was starting the day, by the way. Third is Masyn Winn at 32.7%, and after that is Freddie Freeman, 31.8%. Now, Masyn Winn, that's pretty good company, and Masyn Winn today has a double and a home run.
Both line drives.
Of line drives. Yeah.
Percentage just went up.
So, Anthony, your thoughts after all that?
Can he talk now?
I'll allow it
All
now.
right. Just wanted
I think
clarification.
the Cardinals have a star in the making, and we should order the jackets.
You know what? Go ahead. You guys want to
Red
watch it?
Yeah.
and otherwise.
We got a text from the 314. You guys didn't believe in this team a week ago. Just root for the Battlehawks.
Well, here's the
We'll
thing.
do both.
That's a bunch of baloney. We're just saying.
Wait, you don't root for the Battlehawks?
What?
Does this texter not root for the Battlehawks?
No, he's just saying, or she. Or no, his
That's
name's
awful.
Pete.
Hold on, Marshall. Let me finish here. That's awful.
positive,
that
Pete.
this person text in and hammers the Battlehawks, who all they've done is provide St. Louis with greatness.
Anthony, I think it's...
And you, the listener, this texter, disgusting, hammers the Battlehawks?
I don't think
I hate it.
It's what Pete said
Anthony's having a
and
tough segment
what
here.
you heard, Anthony.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
It is.
I root for all St. Louis teams, not just the Cardinals.
Okay.
It's terrible.
He's angry. What'd you think of the 3-1 loss on Saturday night to FC Cincinnati?
Well, FC Cincinnati is they're a really good team. You get those players on the pitch in their boots, and go F yourself. They're real good.
But you were rooting for City SC.
Of course I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
When listen, here's the thing. When Cincinnati FC, when they're going up and down the pitch, okay, up and down, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and they're running, right? They're running and they're kicking them balls, okay, and they're defending. That's one of the best teams in the MLS.
Yeah, they are.
Go City.
All right. So as we were saying about our good friend Masyn Winn. Yeah, I think he is a stellar player. He's first of all, Jamie, you hit all the nails on the head. Him playing defense was the one thing that we were certain of. Like being able to get to balls that most players wouldn't be able to get to, being able to throw runners out deep in the hole, and because of his arm strength, because of all of the ability he has defensively, the offense is a bonus. The fact that he's leading off, which I have been clamoring for a while. You need speed at the top of the lineup, a guy that can set the table, a guy that can get on base. He hit a double earlier and came around to score because that's what you do when you have speed. You can use it. That's what the game used to be, a lot of speed. It used to be a lot of, now it's just hit the ball over the fence and we'll score that way. Nah, there are other ways to score. You can get to third, and guess what? A pass ball could get you home. A wild pitch could get you home. A sacrifice fly. Imagine that. But you know what you got to have? Speed to do so. So there you have it. I think Masyn Winn is outstanding. I agree with you, Anthony. Order the jackets now. Let's get it done. Why are we waiting? Red and otherwise. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What color is the jacket
That's
for
a good
baseball
question.
players?
I just thought gold automatically.
Gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives it?
Hoot. Gold is football. Green is the Masters. I don't.
Yeah.
NHL,
Maybe
you
it's
get a
blue.
ring.
Maybe it's a blue jacket.
Yeah, it's a blue jacket.
No, that's in Columbus.
You guys are. Okay.
We good?
I think so.
All right.
All right. Superstar.
This is from the Water Boy. Of course, Anthony likes Cincinnati. He's from there.
No, he is. How much time do you spend there?
Not a lot. I don't think I've spent a lot of time in Cincinnati, Ohio. I've gone through there. I don't know if I've ever stopped, though.
It's not a bad city. Seriously. It's not bad.
I've been to
a couple of good nights there.
Canton, Ohio for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't think I've been to Cincinnati, though.
I've been to Cincinnati. Yeah.
You've been to Cincinnati a lot.
In and out.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple times. This wasn't bad.
It's not far from Indianapolis, though. It's
a couple of
I've been to Indy.
Yeah.
Nice people there.
I agree.
Yeah. Very good.
Very
family
nice people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cincinnati's all right. I went to a game at Great American Ballpark when I was a young lad.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
You saw your Redbirds, did you?
I did.
Did they win?
They certainly did, and I was heckling a Reds fan the entire time.
Oh, that's right. Is that the guy that got in your face?
He was the guy that got in my face.
And then at the end said, "Oh, way to go, kid. Go back and forth. That was fun." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But he threatened you first.
Yeah, I said, go blank yourself.
Yeah.
San Diego.
All right.
I literally said, go blank yourself because I was so young that I didn't cuss.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice job there by by your folks or your legal guardian or a neighbor. Whoever raised you, Marge, did a nice job.
Thank you.
Legal guardian.
It's a fast lane. I want to. What?
It's not the Stalter house.
I just covered the. Listen, I covered the gamut. All right. Covered the gamut.
Neighbor Day.
Neighbor Dave would have done a hell of a job. He raised 3 incredible children, okay? He'd be
Maddie,
4. He'd be
Killian. And
no, now he's doing that. But before, he had his own kids. Yeah. Before I send my kids over there. He's incredible. All right. Sports Six-Pack is next. You got a question for us. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. Sports Six-Pack next in the Fast Line.
My guy Anthony's all fired up today, and that's because mentality is in his world. It's fixed him up. Sometimes as you get older, that testosterone is just, it is what it is. My guy Anthony, you heard him. He was over there yesterday at Mentality in South County. Look at him go today, all fired up.
Well, Jamie, sometimes you're running low on energy, right? You don't know what's going on. You want to be at peak performance, so you start doing what? You start doing all the stuff that doesn't work, and you spend a bunch of money on different supplements and all that. Just go down to Mentality. They'll draw your blood. They'll figure out what's going on. A lot of times, especially for Jamie and I, you are low on testosterone. You jump on their program, and all of a sudden you're yelling at listeners just like I am today.
Yeah, and the best part about Mentality is the individuals who work there. They are great at answering all your questions. They make sure that they ask the right questions as well so that they can get to know you. And then after that, it's that clubhouse feel. You walk in, you get to know everybody. You're there, and you're there for your specific program that is unique to you, to help you. And I love it. They do an amazing job over there. You can visit them in Chesterfield. You can visit them in South County. When you walk in, tell them that Anthony and Jamie sent you in. They love to hear that. And trust me, they're going to take great care of you. If you can't get in there or you're even wondering for a little more information, visit them at lowtusa.com. That's Mentality at lowtusa.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals picked up a victory earlier this morning, a continuation of last night's game, a 3-1 victory against the Baltimore Orioles. They are currently winning now 5-3. They were losing 3-0 before the rain delay this afternoon, and now the Cards are winning 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. There's 2 outs, 1 runner on first base. We'll continue talking about this game, give you updates at the conclusion of it. But coming up next, we have our Sports Six Pack. If you have a question you want to Send our way. Do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Your Sports Six Pack is coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is now.
All right, time for the Sports Six Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Marsh, go.
Question number 1.
Beat you to it. From the 618, with the offense seemingly turning it around, can we see a return of Jordan Skywalker in the next week or so?
No.
Why would you?
Yeah, why would you? Why would you? Jamie nailed this yesterday, and boy, he nailed it good.
Thank you.
This offense is performing well, so why mess with it right now? Let Jordan Walker get some more seasoning down in the minor leagues, okay? Don't worry, we won't try to make him hit the ball in the air, even though, he's 6'6". Go ahead and just beat the ball into the ground consistently.
Does it get past the infielder?
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
In AAA, it does.
Yeah.
He's hit a few in gaps.
Go back and watch his hit reel. I watched it 2 days ago. There's one double, and the other one's very seldom is it making it past the infield without bouncing at least once.
He's killing 384 worms a week.
Are you part of PETA? You concerned about the worms?
Are they a part of that organization?
I don't know if
are they?
Do you have to have fur or feathers to be a part of PETA?
Well,
does anybody care about the big pythons down in Florida?
A bit hypocritical if they don't.
What about squirrels?
I think they would care about squirrels. Yeah,
they for
There's
sure.
a lot of them, though.
No, why, Anthony?
I don't know. I may have. You know what? What was that about?
Well, think about
Jordan Walker.
Well, think about the worms, though. Like, how many people are using worms as fish bait? Like, no one really says anything about the worms.
But they get mad about the fish that they catch, but not about the worms that they use to catch said fish.
Well, what about the other little fish that they use as bait? They throw a hook in those, and everybody seems to be fine with that.
Right. What about the cicadas?
The cicadas.
I don't know if anyone loves those things.
Oh my God, those things.
Do they not bleed?
I don't know.
Do they not have a heartbeat? Are they not alive?
They are alive.
They're alive and loud.
Yeah,
very loud.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think PETA interferes with the demolition of cicadas, though. I feel like they'd have a really big job to try and protect them.
They should do something.
I don't know
louder.
Where do we draw the line? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you draw the line. I don't know, Anthony.
Fur and feathers.
Is that it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Although apparently the whales.
But he was worried about the worms that Jordan Walker is hitting when he hits the ball in the ground, so I just thought maybe PETA would have a problem as well.
Carey, here's the thing. I want Jordan Walker to be a complete player. You want him to be a ground ball machine.
No, I want him to work his way, and only thing I don't want him to do is chase after sliders away.
I'm with you there.
That's it. Stay in the strike zone and hit the ball. If you do not chase those, I would be okay. And if he hits a bunch of ground balls and eventually works, if you're hitting the ball and you're getting on base, guess what that does? Gives you confidence to hit the ball a little bit higher and a little bit further. That's all I worry about. Just don't chase. I'm not worried about singles up the middle. I don't know that you had a problem with it, Anthony. I'm sorry. I didn't know you had a problem with runners on base and then getting in scoring position. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, you stop.
I didn't know that was an issue.
Yeah.
Getting runners on? I didn't know that on-base percentage didn't matter. I mean, it's one of the metrics to give you your OPS. But hey, excuse me. Sorry.
Don't you be using my playbook right now.
I'm sorry.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Speaking of PETA, great bread.
Yes.
It's a different spelling.
It's an underused
It's a different spelling. That's P-I-T-A. PETA is P-E-T-A-S. Different. Completely different.
Also come in chip form.
Yeah, completely.
Oh, those are good too. When you get the little dip.
Yeah.
Well, the PETA bread is actually outstanding.
Yeah, the PETA bread is awesome. Yeah, you're right about that.
Is it made of animals?
No,
that's a good question.
I think it's made of wheat and flour and probably in something enriched.
I'm only, as I get older, I can only eat like certain breads.
Really?
Yeah, it's getting bad, man. Peter might not be on the list. It's bad. It's unfortunate.
Question number 2.
All right. Speaking of Jordan Walker.
Nice, guys.
From the 314, if the Astros don't offer Kyle Tucker an extension, can we package a trade centered around Jordan Walker for him?
Wow.
For who?
Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I would take Kyle Tucker in a heartbeat. Yes. What are we giving up? Walker?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
What the hell is going on here?
Have you not seen Tucker?
Have you not seen Kyle Tucker?
He's going to win the MVP this year.
Kyle Tucker is incredible.
Do it.
27 years old?
Yep.
Absolutely.
I'm with it.
What?
Go ahead.
Why?
You have it. Because when Jordan Walker becomes Randy Arozarena for more than 1 or 2 years, and you all are looking back at this trade, and Kyle Tucker sprains an ankle and it balloons up, and he has to.
Why are you hurting Kyle Tucker?
To continue. I just aimed my sprained ankle. I mean, I don't know if he's going to stay injured.
Serious
but,
injury, Carey.
It can be.
Yeah. It's going to be nagging.
All the time. Mm-hmm. And then his knees hurt, so he can't play on turf. I don't know.
Back hurts because he's compensating.
There you go.
I don't like you wishing that
Ankle
upon
injuries lead to, other things. You got to compensate. Now your hip hurts on the other side. Trust me, I've been there.
Carey, can I ask you a serious question? Seriously. Can I ask you a question?
Question number 3.
How long have you been Jordan Walker's agent?
That's a great question.
I'm just wondering, because every time we even bring up his name, the antennas go up, he gets puffed up, and he's like, ready to go.
Just want the young man to have the opportunities that are afforded to him.
But, Carey, you seem like the kind of guy that wants these young players to earn their opportunities,
I do.
too.
Except
but I feel like it's different with Jordan Walker.
Mm-hmm. I just think he's going to be great, man. And when he becomes great, you all can tell me, you know what? You were right.
You can think anything you want.
As much as you did.
And then what happens if it doesn't go that way?
Then you can tell me you're an idiot. For thinking that for as long as you did.
No, I'm going to look at you and say you cost us Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't get to pick anyone.
And you
Kyle
injured
Tucker.
him.
And you hurt him.
So now we got a player that's injured.
Well, he's injured on the other team. No, we didn't get him. So then you'd be happy. I just gave him a sprained ankle. That's 2 weeks.
I don't appreciate it.
No,
well, not for the Cardinals.
Trust me. Unless it's a high ankle sprain, then it's like 6
What was to say? You said ankle. Could be anything.
I gave him a 2-week ankle sprain.
Must be nice.
No problem.
Question number 4.
The Cardinals, it's 2 years.
Oh, that was yours was 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
You never really answered it either.
I shall never tell.
Perfect. Want to go on a trip?
Speaking of injured players, from the 636, ever since Wilson Contreras got hurt, the Cardinals have been on fire. So do you think Contreras has been
he's the problem.
all along?
My God.
Thanks. Sincerely, Ollie M.
I was standing up for Wilson as well. Look how well that's turned out.
Wow.
Doubled him up.
Yeah.
In the game?
No. What an unbelievable play, though. So the Orioles had runners at first and third with no outs. And who's that? Cedric Mullins? Cedric Mullins hit one to the warning track. Lars went all the way back, dealt with the wall, dealt with the sun, dealt with the sinking liner, caught the ball, and rifled it to first base.
That was a really good play.
It was a great catch, great throw, and he doubled off whoever was on first base. So now there's 2 outs and a 5-4 game.
And nobody on.
Mullins, I think, was the one that got thrown out.
He
so,
did.
yeah, 5-4 right now, 2 outs. Unbelievable play by Lars Nootbaar.
The umpire looks like he's going to try and screw the Cardinals here again.
Yeah, the umpire's looking to throw somebody out.
They are.
Probably.
They're checking things. They're like, hey, how can we screw the Cardinals over again?
Hey, challenging.
Well, I wonder if they didn't. I wonder if the runner at third didn't tag up.
That would be great if he didn't.
A triple play to end the game.
They'd have to go back and touch third base right now with the ball.
Maybe they did, and we didn't see it.
But you're right, Carey. I mean, it's a distinct possibility.
I'm sorry. Sorry for being correct.
I'm sorry for throwing out something that may have
I
happened.
said it's a distinct possibility. He gets all puffed up again, like I talked about Walker again. This guy. I don't know.
That would be the only challenge. It could be a triple play.
I don't know.
Did Lars not catch the ball?
Oh, no, he definitely caught it. Yeah.
No, he caught it.
He definitely caught it.
Well, we'll figure it out.
They
here.
definitely threw him out at first base. So
What was the question
we'd have to
again
wait.
for six-pack?
I don't know.
Marshy?
Let's just move on.
Question number 5.
This one comes from the Water Boy. Which is the most nervous thing for a fan to do? A coin toss at an NFL game, a puck drop at an NHL game, or a first pitch at a Major League Baseball game?
First pitch, for sure.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. You don't look like an asshat throwing that ball out there.
So it does say, call on the field, runner did not leave third base early. That is what they're challenging.
Oh, the
All right.
Cardinals are challenging that.
So we got a review here. Okay, so
No triple play.
no triple play on
Runner did
that.
tag up.
It is 5-4 Cardinals, 2 outs. But Lars Nootbaar may have just saved the series sweep.
He may have
in
saved
one
the
play.
season, Anthony.
If not the season. Yeah.
And the next pitch is swung on.
Oh,
and
no,
belted.
come on now, Marsh. Let's not do that. All right, what was the 5th question?
What's more nerve-wracking?
Oh, yeah, the first pitch.
Coin toss.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Yep.
the coin toss is easy. Dropping a puck, you just stand there, smile, and drop it.
I mean, they're not trying to. Yeah.
The first pitch, you've got to
It's on you to actually throw a pitch.
don't look like an asshat.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Cardinals have swept the Baltimore Orioles.
They did not avoid the sweep.
they did
That's
not.
impressive.
They tried
man.
to.
What a
Don't get me wrong.
series.
You know what? I want to get into this later when we're done with the sports six-pack, but Carey, you and I in particular talked about the stretch of 9 games. We said there's a chance they might not win 1. They might win 2 games out of the 9. Here we are, 2 series in. They've won 5 out of 6.
All right, so what I want to do next is talk about why Carey and Jamie did not believe. This goes back to what Brandon said a week ago.
Absolutely. I mean, Brandon called it out.
Called these 2 guys out.
These 2, for sure.
And now
Mostly
all of a sudden,
He said your
they
name
believe.
first, Jamie.
Yeah,
Jamie didn't put on the glasses yesterday either.
I'm not going to.
Or today.
Exactly.
Or today.
Maybe tomorrow.
Disgusting. We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
If you're looking to save money on your car or your home insurance, please contact Tracy Bibb with the Bibb Agency. They're always going to battle to get you the best rate possible, but not at the expense of proper coverage. And that's the one mistake we make, a lot of us, is thinking that, well, the cheaper price is the best way to go. Meanwhile, we don't look at what the coverage actually is, and then when something happens, it's bad news. Don't let that happen. Call Tracy Bibb with the Bibb Agency. I can tell you from my personal experience with Tracy that they're just a phone call away. No matter what the situation is, whether it's a little fender bender, maybe the weather got to your home, whatever it is, you call them. They're going to provide you with the right information. They're going to walk you through exactly what you need to do next. And it takes the stress away from having to deal with it on your own. It takes the stress away from calling a 1-800 number and talking to somebody who doesn't know you and can't help you right away. And then that adds stress to all of this, especially in those moments where, you know, maybe it is a car accident. Maybe something happened. You need to be talked through it. You need the stress to go away. That's where Tracy Bibb and the Bibb Agency are so huge. And you call them today for a free non-committal quote. Nothing involved with it. Just call. Talk to Tracy. That number is 314-328-4260. Again, that's 314-328-4260. It's no fib. You're in great hands with Tracy Bibb.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. So, Jamie, before we close that last segment, you were talking about how you and Carey did not believe in this team.
Carey mostly, but I was there too.
Both of you did not care about this team, did not believe, and now there's kind of I don't know, some yolk on your face. So go ahead and explain.
Well, Carey had started it, and I backed him on it when he said that the Cardinals are going to lose 9 in a row in these 3 series. He said the potential was there. I'm not wrong, Carey. I'm joking a little bit, but you said they could lose because you were mad that day. That's the day you refused to put the glasses on.
Yeah.
You came in sideways.
Really upset.
Yeah.
That day.
It was after the Angels lost, I think. I said they had 9 games and they could win 2 or 3.
And then you said they actually might not win one of them.
No, that might have been anger.
It's fine. It's fine. But I was right there with you saying, well, they'll probably take 1 from the Orioles and 1 from the Cubs. Mm-hmm. Well, here we are. They've won 5 out of their last 6 out of these ones here. And I forget the total out of their last chunk of whatever because they won the 2 out of 3 and then whatever. They won the last one there. So I don't know. Math eludes me.
8 of the last 10.
We don't do math in the Fast Lane.
No, so 8 of their last 10? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's pretty damn good. Any way you look at it, so I get choked up when the Cardinals play well. Any way you look at it, the Cardinals are making some noise right now. Like they're not flukes. When you win the series against how they just play
Orioles.
No, the Red Sox.
Them too.
And then you sweep the Orioles. I guess I'm sorry, guys. It's not that you have to start believing that this team is great, but I think it's fair to assume that they're better than what we were led to believe with the way they started the season.
Well, they weren't. Yeah, okay. So
that's not hard to do. I get it, Anthony. Go ahead, be negative.
Really? Because I was the one that let off the show with the glasses not too long ago. And you guys,
I haven't seen those glasses.
And you guys looked at me and you
I won't
criticized me.
I haven't seen them in 4 days.
Whatever. I believed. That's the point. You guys didn't. That's the other point. Cardinals. All right. They weren't playing well. So, in all seriousness, when people are like, "Oh, you guys, see, you're negative. You stay off the bandwagon." What were you watching? Were you blind? Were you watching the games? No sound with your eyes closed? I'm just going to believe. If you open your eyes, you would have saw a crap product for a month and a half. But now, there's real evidence that this team is turning things around, led by the offense. Because the pitching has been better than expected. The bullpen has been great. The defense, despite the 9 errors, have been good this year. But the offense, the guys are finally producing. You really can't, come up with an excuse for the way the offense was performing in April. It was dreadful. You could say, well, Goldschmidt's not going to hit that badly all year. Okay. But even if he was average, even if he got to average, things wouldn't have improved as dramatically as it has. Mm-hmm. They're playing good baseball right now. They win, we say nice things. They lose, we say mean things.
100%.
Welcome to the Fast Lane.
Guys,
we're honest.
It's fun.
It's fun. I'd rather see this.
No, it's fun when they win.
Yes.
And let's be honest, as hard as we have been on the Cardinals this season and the front office and whatnot, it's never fun for us to criticize them. We laugh and we joke and we poke fun and things like that, but it's a way better world when the Cardinals are playing winning baseball.
Yeah.
It really is. It excites me. In fact, as of yesterday, was contacting some people down there to get some tickets to a game.
Yeah.
And I said I had no reason to go to a Cardinals game, and now I'm planning on going to watch a game. I find their product to be exciting now.
Yeah, you picked up that text the other night. You said Ashley did, but you did.
Well, she told him what it said, and he was like, yeah.
She whispered it in my ear. I kind of am up.
Yeah.
I am.
No,
I sure was.
I wasn't asleep. We got a text from No Name.
I know what you meant.
We got a text from No Name in the
snake pit.
In the snake pit. It says, "Wow, look at the losers on the fast lane."
Whoa!
Why are we losers?
I don't know.
You know, we also got a text from Brandon, though. Brandon, front of the show. Way to go, Anthony. And you're right. CD and Jamie didn't believe.
Thanks,
you kind of did.
I kind of did. It's right.
Okay,
Thank you, Brandon. Yeah.
Align yourself with that guy. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, him and I believe in our Redbirds. No Name. Okay. You're throwing around the word loser.
This guy
no
doesn't even
name.
have a no name. Doesn't even have a name up there.
Parents looked at you, said, "We got nothing."
Pass.
You know what? We're the losers.
We also got a message from Josh in the Snake Pit. It's okay to be honest, better than being fake
Thanks,
about
Josh.
it. You think we're a bunch of fakers?
No, we're not a bunch of fakers.
Not
Come
here.
on.
And here's the thing. We are excited about winning the series. We're excited about, how well they have been playing as of late. It's outstanding.
Darn right.
Still have work to do. The job is
Absolutely.
not finished. And so this is my thing. I never get excited. I try not to get excited about until we get to where we know, okay, we're number one we're first in the division, or we're right behind the Brewers for 2 games back. We're still 5.5 games back from the number one spot. I do not care about the wild card. It's too early, and there are too many teams in front. Right now has been good. Won't take it away from them. Talk to me when they're above 500.
Carey.
That's the stance
Carey, I have to talk to you every day, so that's not fair.
You don't have to talk to me at all, sir.
Carey.
What?
Whoa. Wow.
Why you gotta do like that?
The anger he was giving me, it's called
It's projecting.
Don't you project back at
You
me.
project all over me.
I have to because
don't.
he did it to me.
It is not appreciated.
I apologize.
Especially when you don't warn me. Okay? So don't do that.
Just
please.
give you a heads up.
Yeah. What?
What is going on?
It's a transfer of energy is what it is.
Sure is.
His energy came this way. He was angry.
Trying to get fired?
No, what? I said projected.
What did you think he said?
Yeah.
Carey.
What are we talking about right now?
Carey, you're talking about the Cardinals. There's work to be done and all that. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
but
you got ways to go.
You gotta.
I
you
am
gotta
excited
walk before you can crawl.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's not necessarily true because my son Ashton,
there you go.
He went from laying and rolling around to grabbing the table, standing up, and walking. He didn't
we're not
officially
all Ashton.
crawl.
We're not. The
There are
Cardinals
some
might not be
kids.
Ashton.
Yeah, but
they crawled for a while.
Yep. All right. Where are we? Are the Cardinals catering to Ryan Helsley, or is this a recipe for his success when he talks about outlining what he wants to do in terms of his usage? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and if you're a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling, you need to learn more about my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. Scrap Mart understands that job site cleanup for contractors can be a mess, but if you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how scrap metals add up and how it can truly help your business's cash flow. If you own heavy equipment, it often breaks down. Sometimes you have to repair it over and over and over again, and then there comes a time where you have to end your suffering and get rid of that piece of equipment. Scrap Mart will come and get it out of your way. They'll haul it to one of their convenient locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it yourself, they have 3 locations you can choose from: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. It's recycling made easy. They offer convenient drive-on scale and have the highest payout, and you will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. Just visit them today at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. That's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell them Carey sent you.
Just knowing daily, I'm only going to be asked to get 1 inning and 3 outs has been huge. And, I think we've seen that down there in our bullpen too. JoJo and Kay have kind of picked up where I left off the last couple of years, and they've done great going multiples. And JoJo's been fantastic coming in with guys on. And, those guys are very valuable down there for us and our team.
That was Ryan Helsley, closer for your St. Louis Cardinals, who swept the Baltimore Orioles today with a come-from-behind victory. They were trailing 3-0, went into a rain delay, and emerged 5-3 victors. Masyn Winn hit his second home run of the season. But getting back to Ryan Helsley, we talked about Sonny Gray yesterday and how Sonny Gray indicated to Ollie, hey, I'm good. I'm done. I'm reached max performance. Let's hand it off to the bullpen. And we, to a man, praised him for that. And a texter texted in and said, hey, guys, aren't you being a little hypocritical when it comes to Ryan Helsley also saying, I'm only good for X amount of pitches or X amount of days in a row?
Well, he wouldn't take the ball 2 games in a row.
Correct.
Last year.
If you heard Ryan Helsley talk there, I think what he was trying to say is, it's nice to know what my role is. I appreciate that. But he also does seem like he's willing to take the ball more. And I do think that's important.
Okay, so...
Oh, boy, he's got a smirk. Carey, he's got a smirk on his face.
Hear me out.
I don't know where he's going with this.
Hear me out. I understand that it's nice to know, like, you're only getting the ball for the last inning. But, like, does it bother anybody at all just a little bit that's what he's just identified now, is that's all I do is last inning, like clean bases. Like, I'm not coming in a crap sandwich. Like, you only hand me the ball with nobody on base and I close out the game. Does it bother anybody that that's basically what he's declaring?
Is that what he's saying, though?
Well,
he did kind of say,
Marshy,
I got to get 3 outs.
I know you're busy over
ninth
there, and I know you're chopping some stuff up. Can you go back to the Ryan Helsley audio? Just please, and thank you. Sugar on top, Andrew.
Just knowing daily, I'm only going to be asked to get 1 inning and 3 outs has been
that's
huge.
Good.
And,
you can stop it there.
Okay,
1 inning and 3 outs.
And 3 outs.
Yeah.
It's also a save opportunity.
So, but I think what Jamie is saying, he's not coming in the 8th inning to get 1 batter, go sit down, and then go get 3 more. Like, if you need him,
then I would trade him. I'm kidding.
When I sent this out to you guys,
right,
it wasn't my only angle on it. For me, and Carey, I don't know, I would assume you're the same way. I know you pretty well at this point, and I know that our attitudes towards athletics are pretty damn close. Even though our opinions on certain things aren't, our attitudes towards it are very close to where, like, again, you'd have to kill me for not to not play. And Carey, I know you're the same way.
Yeah.
And you've reached the pinnacle, you have a Super Bowl ring, all that stuff, and so you know exactly what it takes. And when I think of Ryan Helsley, I'm not saying he doesn't have what it takes. I'm just saying what I'd rather hear is, hey, it is really nice right now to know that when I get the ball, I'm closing out the game. I'm expected to get 3 outs and close out the game. However, whatever this team needs, I'm available for it.
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because when you cross-reference it with what he said before about not wanting to take the ball 2 games in a row, and then there was some things going on behind closed doors, and then all of a sudden, now he's in this spot. Now he's basically declaring that's all I'm going to do. I don't know.
I hear you. I think that, yes, I think that's fair. I think we're inching closer. I also wonder if the kid is just too honest about things, too honest about how he wants it kind of laid out. But I do think there is something to that. Like, hey, give me the ball. I don't care. Perfect conditions or in the middle of a tornado, I'm going to get you 3 outs. I think that's what we want to hear. So I'm with you on that.
And that's all I'm saying. And I will move this forward because I do have another opinion on the same topic. But 314 brings up a good opinion here. Says, what I heard is it's okay for JoJo and Kittredge to go out there 3 multiple innings or days in a row, so I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But so let's spin this forward a little bit. Ryan Helsley is quite possibly the most dominant closer in the game right now.
He's close.
He's close.
He's in the picture.
He's on the podium. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
And when you're the Cardinals and you've had the opportunity to get the save, like he's been able to do it for you.
Yes.
And right now you need that. You drop so many games to start the season that anytime you have a lead going into the 9th inning and you have the luxury of handing the ball to Ryan Helsley, he's taking that ball and he's closing it out.
Yeah, you feel good.
They've got the Hells Bells going again. They turn the lights out, the red flames and all that. Like, we're back, baby. We're back. So that part, I'm very happy for the Cardinals and very happy for Ryan Helsley because last year he was injured. So it didn't really get a chance to do his thing. And now he's back and he's pitching very, very, very well. So I have no complaints about that.
I agree with you in terms of, when you say it's nice to know that I only have to get 3 outs in 1 inning, it does sound like, there's no way in hell I'm going to get 5 guys. I'm not going to get 4 guys. I got 3 guys in me. I'm going to go get 3 guys out, and then I'm done. And as a teammate, I agree. You want a teammate that is going to say, hey, whatever it requires, whatever it takes for this moment, because I want to win so badly that I'll help our team do whatever needs and whatever is required. And so I think that's that can be a level of frustration. Because that's not to say that if the question were arised and said, hey, I need you to get this guy out in the top of the 8th and make sure we can get this guy out of this game, you're going to have to get 4 guys out. That's not saying that he won't do it, but it's not saying that he will either. So I think that leaves you a big concern. And so, I mean, he's been pitching extremely well. And I wonder, there is a level of selfishness that you do have to have as a player. Like, it shouldn't be outward, but there is a level of selfishness. And I wonder if Ryan Helsley, who hasn't received that big contract yet, is worrying or concerning himself with, I need to stay healthy, I need to stay fresh, I need to be the best version for myself, but also for the team, but also for myself. Because at some point, I want to get a double-digit contract, a $10, $20, $30 million over however many years, or $50 million over however many years, 8 to 10 per year, whatever the case may be, whatever that number looks like. And so there is a level of self-preservation, and not saying that it's right, but you as a professional athlete, former athlete, me as I understand it, because anybody that is in this industry, that is in this business, knows that we play, obviously, for our team and for our teammates and for the city. We love it. But damn it, we play for ourselves and our family as well to make sure that we don't have to do a lot of work when we retire. So I understand that aspect of it as well from him.
Well, and we talk about Sonny Gray knowing his body. I think Ryan Helsley knows what he can provide, and so by him not going out multiple innings, it allows him to pitch multiple days if the Cardinals are in that situation. And I don't think we can say or criticize him when we were just talking about the other pitchers maybe throwing their arms out at a certain point. We don't want that happening with him. Yeah. Right? We don't want that. Plus, we always talk about players having a role. That's his role, and I'm fine with that. He is comfortable with that, and he's doing a great job at it.
It kind of goes back to what you just said there, kind of goes back to what I was saying about how maybe he's a little too honest with it. I know what's best for my body, I know this and the other thing, but there is something that when it's said, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Don't you want to throw your arm out for my team? And don't you want to be, the ultimate warrior?
Not unless it's the World Series.
I don't want you to become Alex Reyes and have a bad second half because you were overutilized.
Do you know who ruined this for Ryan Helsley?
Probably us.
No, Hader.
Josh Hader.
Josh Hader, because him and his agent put a cap on the Brewers about how many batters he could face or whatever. Like, he did that whole thing. Like, no, we're not doing this. And I don't think Ryan Helsley said that to the Cardinals, but I think that even me, I'm guilty of it myself, thinking that he only took a page out of Josh Hader's book. Right. And I'm making that up. I don't know. So
but it's possible.
It's possible, but it's also possible that I'm full of crap too.
But I don't think so.
Yeah, it's in play.
Oh, not in this topic. Maybe other things.
Jesus, Carey.
Wow.
I love Jamie. Yeah, but he already said it first.
He already crushed himself.
When
You don't
I
need to
say
hop
it,
on.
I was just agreeing.
It's okay when I say it.
I'm
When
sorry.
you say it, it hurts.
I apologize. I know
Carey,
you're a bit
you've
sensitive.
listen.
Clearly.
You've been rough around the edges
started
today.
It. You were talking to us so badly during the break
Jamie.
that I did just carry it over.
Jamie, I'm sorry.
On air.
for
Now
Carey.
he's apologetic. He wasn't apologetic.
Oh, I don't
too.
take any of his apologies seriously.
Is it because I don't mean it?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
But no, I do think that part of it is that self-preservation. You want every professional athlete wants to hit that big contract. However, whenever you can get to it, because that gives you financial stability. Again, that allows you, your life is changed when you can sign a 5-year deal for $60 million or $70 million. That is life-altering money.
Yeah, it is.
Not like he hasn't been making good money up until this point, but that is life-changing,
He hasn't been
life-altering.
making superstar money
He has
yet.
not. So there is a part of that will have you saying, yeah, I want to win. Yeah, I want to give everything I got, but damn it, I want to make sure I'm okay to get paid at the end. And so I can't hold that against him because I would hope that, again, if it was a final game of a regular season where they need this win to get in, or it's a wild card situation where we need to win to continue to advance, I don't think that would be a problem. But in May 22nd, hell with you guys. I'll see you on the 23rd because I'll be available.
So, having gone through this entire segment and reading a whole bunch of texts that hate our guts for this take, which is always great because Cardinals fans, 5 days ago, we couldn't find a positive text.
Who's this hour you're talking about?
And now we have several texts that are coming at us, and having listened to Carey and dissecting all this and evaluating the information, quite honestly, I'm sorry that you all feel that way.
Are the Rangers a fluke or should they be studied? That's next on 101 ESPN. get into our next segment. Marsh, you wanted to read off some of the text message that we got there in the break.
Well, yeah, you teased, are the Rangers a fluke or should they be studied? And we got a text from the 314. The Rangers winning was a fluke. The two best National League teams lost. Arizona was not a good World Series team.
Yeah, so are the New York Rangers a fluke or should they be studied? The New York Rangers, of course, not the Texas Rangers, but we do appreciate the text message. The New York Rangers, 5-on-5, not great. They were the exact opposite of being an analytical darling throughout the regular season, but they did have the league's best record. Coming into the playoffs, though, if you had kind of studied them, and a lot of people are like, nope, they're not going to do well because of their poor 5-on-5 play, at least offensively. They're going to be overly reliant on the power play. Well, turns out they've done just fine. Beating Washington, okay, kind of an older Washington team, but Carolina, as you've mentioned, Jamie, Carolina is a buzzsaw, and the Rangers, they handled them. Mm-hmm. It got closer at the end, but they handled them. Are they a team, Jamie, that are skirting the analytics in a positive way? Like they're doing something that analytics just can't measure? Or do you think that they're about to get bounced here because they're playing the Panthers and they're a fluke?
So let's back it up.
The Rangers, not the Panthers.
Yeah. Let's back it up. The Carolina Hurricanes absolutely took the Rangers out behind the woodshed and had their way with them. Except for Igor Shesterkin, the goalie.
Bless you.
Thank you very much. That's the bottom line. The Rangers were under siege for most of that series, being outshot 2-1 for the entirety of the series. Mm-hmm. Igor Shesterkin,
bless you,
thank you, was definitely the key to all of that. And so when I watched that team at 5-on-5, Anthony, we talked about they almost just. They just keep you at bay enough. The forwards are big. They got some pretty good defensive guys. Their defensive core is very good, very solid, and their goaltender is fantastic. Then when they get a power play, they capitalize. Now, what happened in that Carolina series when the Rangers' power play stumbled? Carolina came right back into the series. Yeah. Right back into the series. Mm-hmm. So if we're thinking about the Rangers against the Florida Panthers, which, by the way, you can catch the pregame tonight at 6:30 right here on 101 ESPN, and then the game following that, the Florida Panthers are a different animal. They are going to absolutely challenge this Rangers team. The Hurricanes were fast, they were good, and all that, but they didn't have that grit of just crashing into the net. The Florida Panthers with Matthew Tkachuk, with Bennett, with Reinhart, with Lomberg, with Cousins.
Lomberg?
Yeah. What? Oh, yeah, Lomberg. I was wondering if you could what's on Saturday. But this is a whole different animal for the Rangers. And their goaltender, Shesterkin,
bless you,
thank you, is going to have his hands full. When Matthew Tkachuk accidentally on purpose falls on him tonight and lays on him, and then you've got Reinhart that does the same thing, and Sam Bennett that runs somebody from behind. And their coach, Peter Laviolette, already is in his own headspace.
He's already making excuses.
No, he says, somebody asked about Sam Bennett. Are you worried about, Sam Bennett? He's like, well, we got Matt Rempe that's ready for him. Oh, okay, really? So now you've just told
there, champ.
You've just told your weapon of mass destruction that you expect him to retaliate. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking about getting even with Sam Bennett before he's even touched anybody on the ice, you're already inside your own head.
Right.
So, again, that's irrelevant to what your question was. But if you look at the Blues this year, if we drag it back here to St. Louis, what's the one area that really, really hurt them this year?
5-on-5.
5-on-5.
I was going to say grit.
Well, that too.
Grit, 5-on-5.
Okay. I was going to ask you this because for NFL playoffs, I mean, obviously, when we get ready for a game, it's always the most physical team. It's a mindset, right? It's about being more physical than your opponent. I feel like playoff hockey is essentially that. It's like bully meeting bully and who's going to be the tougher team. Like you can skate fast and you can make all the pretty plays, but at the end of the day, somebody's going to get hit. And how do you respond from that? And for me, the Florida Panthers feel like they're not afraid of any bully that may come towards them. If you punch one of them, they're going to punch you back, both literally and metaphorically. Like they are going to fight you however they have to do. And so for me, Florida feels like the team that is the team that is more aggressive in this situation and probably the better team because of that.
I couldn't agree more. Like, when you look at the way the Panthers are built, let's just go back a year ago. They got all the way to the Stanley Cup final, and they lost to a Vegas Golden Knights team that just was really good defensively. But when you look along the way, the Florida Panthers found a way to beat everybody.
Right.
And beat them up at the same time. And if you look at the Panthers lineup, they don't have a heavyweight fighter.
Yeah.
They don't have a guy like, hey, your job is like to go take on Matt Rempe.
Right.
No, what they're going to do is they're going to absolutely pulverize Panarin. They're going to get Zibanejad. They're going to get the goalie. They're going to, then they're going to make Rempe and Trouba take stupid penalties, trying to even it all up. And then they're going to score. And then they're going to laugh in your face. And they're going to take another penalty. They're just designed for the playoffs. And you're right. The most entertaining games for any series in the NHL is the first 3 games of the series because you're absolutely trying to hit everything that moves.
I love it.
And especially the good players. Anytime a good player has the puck, even if he passes it, you'll pause, 2, 3, hit him anyways.
Right.
Hit him anyways. And you don't just hit him into the boards. Like your aim is 6 inches, 8 inches past the boards. Now you're hitting to hurt.
Right.
Like, I'm
Just
sorry.
sending a
That's
message.
it's just the way it is because if you got Panarin and all these other talented guys that are now trying to avoid hits, that means they're getting rid of the puck faster.
Right.
They're not making the solid plays. And then when they start to hurt a little bit, it wears you down. Your body aches. It's harder to get ready for the next game. As a defenseman, you go back to get the puck, and every time when you're hit, it takes a level of energy out of you because you're defending the hit. Now you've got to make your way back up the ice to try and defend. That's why you finish every single hit. And the Panthers just overall, their team is built for that kind of destruction. So, again, looping it back to the beginning of this conversation, for the Blues moving forward, you need some more physicality, so some grit to what you said, Carey. But 5-on-5, you have to be a better hockey club because you can't rely upon your power play. The Rangers are one of the best power plays in the NHL, and they're...
You get choked up when you're talking about the hockey in general, but especially
Rangers.
New York Ranger hockey.
Hockey.
Their power play was one of the best in the NHL, and I feel like it's not going to be able to carry them to the Stanley Cup final.
Sure. That's interesting. I like the Panthers in this series as well against the Rangers. What about in the Western Conference?
Dallas. Dallas is built to win. We talked about it a couple of times. The Oilers, this is the thing with the Oilers. They're never out of it because you have Draisaitl and McDavid.
Yeah.
You should never be just considered dead upon arrival because you've got those two guys. But the Dallas Stars are so stacked from a team depth standpoint and their defensive core and Jake Ottinger, the goaltender. The Oilers almost bowed out to the Vancouver Canucks, who had their third-string goalie and were missing their top scorer.
Sure.
Their top goal scorer in the playoffs for the last game. And the Dallas Stars are a different animal altogether. I just think that the Dallas Stars will be able to match up good against McDavid and Draisaitl. They'll be able to defend adequately. And unfortunately, the Oilers are not deep defensively, and their goaltending situation has been a joke. Like Skinner, he's barely got like an .880 save percentage, and Cal Pickard, their backup goalie, he's only played 2 playoff games ever in his life. So it's not a great situation. For me, if I'm betting on this, or if I'm just even wagering the handshake stuff, I'm picking the Dallas Stars.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got biggest question of the day next. I can't say enough great things about the Missouri Athletic Club. 2 locations, but one great clubhouse. So when we're talking about the MAC, downtown location, perfect for Cardinals games during the summertime. You can go down there, you can eat, get something to eat at the Jack Buck Grill, maybe have a drink or two. Use their shuttle to go over to the ball game. Drops you right back off the Missouri Athletic Club where you get your car parked. Perfect spot. West Clubhouse, I usually get my workout in, but when the summertime hits for that too, fun to bring the family to the pool and take advantage of all the different things that they have for families each and every month. That's my MAC. It's Missouri Athletic Club.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals pick up the sweep against the Baltimore Orioles. They defeated the Orioles 5-4 today. They also defeated the Orioles 3-1 earlier today as they completed Game 2. But the Cardinals are rolling right now. They'll take on the Cubs this weekend. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But we have our biggest question of the day coming up next, so stay tuned for that. After the show, we'll have the New York Rangers, Florida Panthers, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Pre-game starts at 6:30. We'll be tuned in for that one, of course. That is the New York Rangers, not the Texas Rangers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, time for the biggest question of the day. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, and Anthony Stalter. Marsh, what do you got for us?
All right, so I saw a tweet last night. It said the Rangers, the Texas Rangers, not the New York Rangers,
naturally,
dropped to 24-25 and are under 500 for the first time since Bruce Bochy's tenure as their manager. That was according to Talking Baseball last night. The question I have, is it the players and not the manager when it comes to any other team not named the Cardinals?
I would say yes. I would say yes on that. I think people get so wrapped up in blaming the manager for everything here because of what we had and what we saw. You think about, certainly with Tony La Russa and the 2 decades plus, the decades plus success that Tony had and Dave Duncan had, and you just have this great appreciation for it. But also you go back to Whitey. Go back to Whitey Herzog and Whitey Ball and what he meant here. So we've had some unbelievable managers here in St. Louis. So I can understand why our gal Lisa often chimes in about Ali not being a great manager. It means something different here. I think ace means something different here. When you have Adam Wainwright and Chris Carpenter and Bob Gibson and all the other great aces that have come through here, the word ace means something different here than maybe some other places. Not every place, but certainly a lot of places. I think we focus too much on the manager, though, because of the great success that we have seen. Just my opinion.
The thing that I think is weird is, Ali won. Well, the Cardinals won 93 games his first year as manager.
Ali got lucky. Go ahead.
But then people will say,
Schultz team.
Yes.
People will say, oh,
right, not
Albert.
Not Mo's team.
Yeah,
Schultz team.
People will say Albert was the reason for them winning 93 games. And Yachty and, all of the players.
Go on.
And then they lose 91 games. And it's no longer the players that won 93. Now it's the manager that lost 91.
Now you're getting it.
It's kind of weird. Because if the players helped you win 93, then I'm sure as hell, those same players helped you lose 91. So, you can't pick and choose. I mean, you can, but you're going to be wrong. Picking and choosing when to blame a manager. Again, you've heard me say this time and time again. Coaches, managers, they don't take one snap. They don't take one at bat.
Right.
They don't, pass one puck in a game. Like, they are there to get you prepared for the game, to give you the answers to the test. But at the end of the day, as a player, you have to go out and take the test and you have to pass.
Yeah,
I can teach you everything or teach you as much as I can teach you. But at the end of the day, it's your time. When it's your time, you have to go out there and make the plays. And if you don't, you're probably going to lose games.
You know where Ollie Marmol ultimately went wrong?
Where?
He didn't follow the Mike Keenan handbook to being a coach or a manager.
Okay.
See, what would happen is when we would win hockey games under Mike Keenan, he would tell the media, well, the guys, they stuck to the plan, executed what we drew up for them, and that's what happens when you get a big win. And then when we would lose, he would say, well, the players didn't show up tonight. They weren't ready. They didn't have their best game, and the system was there. The preparation was there, but they didn't listen.
Right.
And this is what happens if you're not going to play under the system that we want to play. You're going to lose hockey games. So when we won, it was all about him, and when we lost, it was all about us.
I gotta wonder.
That makes a lot of sense, honestly.
I mean, yes and no, because as a player in that locker room, I gotta wonder.
We loved it, Carey.
That didn't work out. That didn't go over well.
No.
When you guys heard that. Hey, who the hell is this guy?
It took us a bit.
Why.
It took us a bit, like a couple of months, because nobody's really paying attention. And then I forget who it was. Maybe it was Shane Corson. Said, "Hey guys, have you ever listened to what he says after the game?"
Oh,
we're like, "Not really." He's like, "Well, every time we win, it's him. Every time we lose, it's us."
Yeah.
He's like, "Meanwhile, we haven't worked on the power play in 2 months because he doesn't believe in working on the power play, just throwing the best players on the ice, and they'll figure it out."
Yeah, naturally.
It got to a point where we were working on the power play before practice without him.
Really?
Yes. It goes back to 1994 when I told you Mark Messier said, "We'll allow you to stand behind the bench, but don't say a word."
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, just stand there.
Just stand there.
Be quiet.
And be quiet. So that's where Ollie went wrong, is he should have blamed the players for the losses and praised himself for the wins. And at this point, we would have thought he was an incredible manager.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Yeah. All the comments are well made on that. I do think the manager, certainly the manager makes a difference. I think we focus too much on the game-to-game stuff. A lot of times we only talk about the mess-ups. We don't talk about how there might be certain details that were implemented before the game that led to or helped a win. We only see Masyn Winn hit the home run and say, okay, Masyn Winn, Hall of Famer. Maybe there was something before the game that Ollie did that we have no idea about, that we don't give him any credit for. But we're going to be right there if a move in the 6th, 7th, or 8th inning backfires. It's not on the reliever. It's on Ollie. He made the wrong choice. It just doesn't work that way. But we tend to think of it that way. Cardinals get it done today. They get a win against the Orioles. In fact, they got 2 wins because it was 1-1. It was tied 1-1.
Carryover.
Yeah, we had the carryover game, of course. And then you had the big home run by Nolan Gorman. By the way, I'm on the board.
Look at you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Shade under a decade.
It only took an extra day for the game to be finished. But
boy.
He likes dramatic flair.
Absolutely, yeah. But Gorman hits the big home run to win that one. That was game 2, first game today. And then the series finale, Cardinals storm back. A decent outing by Kyle Gibson. Didn't get a ton of help from his defense. Arenado had 1 error and 1. I don't know. It was a misplay. We've seen Arenado make that play before. But that led to the 3 runs early on. Cardinals storm back. Masyn Winn hits a home run to make it 5-3. And the bullpen does its job as well. So really nice series. I mean, Baltimore, first place in the AL East, a legit pennant contender in the American League. They come into St. Louis, and they exit it with 0.0 wins. So nice job to the Cardinals.
Do you think you could field a major league ground ball at third base? Like if we stuck you in, not in your heyday at CMU, of course.
Right now
at the hot corner, do you think, how many balls do you think you could field? Like, let's just say the exit velocity is like
a lot of balls.
Jordan Walker exit velocity. Ground ball.
10 ground balls.
Out of 10, how many do you think I can get?
Is the criteria to handle it cleanly, or can I just block it like a slap shot?
No, like you have to cleanly field it and throw it to first base.
And throw it?
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, hell.
Is there anybody running, or is it just like a ghost run?
I'm hitting, not me, but someone's hitting fungo to you, essentially.
Okay.
Field and throw. The fielding part, I think I'd be okay.
We'll go 3 to the right side, 3 to the left side, 4 straight up.
I feel like I would be at about 70%. I don't know why.
7 out of 10?
Yeah.
Exit velo 100 plus.
Yeah, I think so. I'm deep. To make sure we deep in third base.
I don't think it's 7 out of 10.
For you or for me?
I'll just say for me.
I think 7 out of 10.
If I can just block it with my body, pick it up and throw it to first,
you gotta pick it cleanly.
Oh.
Yeah, or else it's an error.
I mean, it could be
it's not an error if I get the out.
You could knock it down and quickly throw it to first.
But that's why I asked.
You got all the time in the world.
For the Happy Gilmore, just block it, pick up the ball, and throw it.
I mean, you can't look unathletic doing it.
Oh, we should try this out.
I'll say 4 or 5.
We should do this.
Against the Rizzuto show.
That would be fun.
We should do. See if Brian Jordan could. Somebody get a former Cardinal.
It'd be tough to get 100 exit velo though off of there.
All right,
Hank
probably.
Rick,
could he ever do it? Yeah,
hitting fungo.
Yeah,
he hits that thing a ton too.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know if this sounds like a lot of fun.
Honestly, be safe.
I think it sounds a lot of fun.
Like the last time I got hit by something 100 miles an hour, I got paid to do it.
Yeah. I agree.
Like
I might have to have the face guard on. I don't know.
You got the softball
face
pitcher's mask.
I'll tell you what would happen. I'll tell you exactly what would happen. You'd start to field it on the backhand.
Yeah.
That's exactly what would happen.
That's how I imagined it.
Because you're like, I'm going to get out of the way.
Yeah, hell
Or to the side.
I'm getting out the way.
Or the Olay.
Hey,
The goalie glove.
Don't
Well,
give me
that's
that
why-
Olay crap, Roger.
That's why I said, let's have 3 to one side, 3 to the other. You know, maybe we'll give you a diving play to see if you can make
need
it.
to be 100?
I'm just
Can
talking
it
about
be
Major League Baseball ground ball. Because if you're hitting
Who's
like
hitting?
normal fungo, like I feel like
any major league player could still get it. I mean,
But it's not every one of them are going to be 100.
Between 95
but
and 100.
it's still it's still getting on you quick. I mean, it's been a while for me, but
I think I could go
have
50%. I
fielded.
think that the first few would
just
blow
went
past
down.
us, and you'd be like, okay, and I think you'd adjust. I think I could go 50%.
We should probably try this.
For real, I think I could go 5 out of 10.
So that's where I'm at. I think I could go 5 out of 10. All right, we'll set it up.
Let's do it.
I don't know how or when, or our execution's really horrible.
We'll
with
get
this,
our
but
guy BT in on it too. We'll do
Yeah.
this right down at Busch Stadium one
Let's
day.
do it. That would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Hilarious.
So it's got to be third base. Like
That's
we're not
what-
doing
that's what-
first
that's
base.
what you said.
You
Like
said
no
third- you said
first
third base.
baseman's mitt.
No, you said third.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, third base. All right. That'd be fun.
It would.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got Bet the Board. We've got 3 stars of the day. We've got criticisms and compliments next. Auto Centers Nissan, they've got their May Day deals going on throughout the month of May. They just activated them, and it runs all throughout the month of May. So it's specifically designed to make upgrading into a new car easier and more affordable. And you can take advantage of a few incentives that they have on select new Nissan vehicles, including 0% APR and payment terms all the way up to 84 months, up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Nissan models, and no down payment needed in 3 months of no payments. You give your wallet a break, also save some of that tax money that you got maybe a month ago. As always, all new Nissans come with their exclusive complimentary lifetime warranty at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, complimentary 1-year maintenance, and the 30-day return promise within 30 days. If you want to bring the vehicle back under any circumstances, they will refund your money and set you up with something else. Their dealership boasts over 700 vehicles, all in one location, all out in Herculaneum, to rest assured that you will find the perfect vehicle for your style and budget. Financing options for everyone at Auto Centers Nissan. So check them out online, autocentersnissan.com. When you head down to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan. you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. All brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Time to bet the board in the fast lane. Marsh, what do you got, man?
All right, Anthony, me and you are still tied 8-7 now. We both lost yesterday. However, Carey and Jamie are climbing their way back in the standings. Carey with a nice record of 6-9. Jamie is 5-10.
Wait,
You were one behind me.
Yeah, but I only had 9 losses yesterday. How do I have 10?
Oh, I'm sorry.
The frick is going
So
on?
am I wrong? So I should be 6-8. Yeah, he gave us a loss. Marshy gave both of us a loss because I was 5-8 yesterday.
Andrew, what are you trying to do here? Hey?
So I'm 6-8
Marsh,
now?
I think you're doing a great job.
No, Jamie has 4 wins.
No, I have 5.
Five
He has
wins.
5 and 9.
5 and 9. I should be 6
You're
and 8.
the guy with the spreadsheet, and I'm the guy with brain damage.
if you
and I
all
got
are
my mind.
Yes,
If you all
5
are 8 and 6.
Yeah.
No, we're 8-7. So
You all
you're
are 8 and
5 and
7.
10. You were 4-10.
I did, but I had 9 losses yesterday, so I don't have 10 today.
What are you? It's
I
15
don't
games.
Yeah, so if we're 8-7, you're 5-10, you're
So I'm
6-9.
6-9.
So I'm 6-9. I'm 6-9.
Carey 6-9.
What?
6-9.
Did I do anything wrong here?
No,
Did
you
I do
didn't.
that?
Jamie's
trying to
just
confuse me.
Yeah, Jamie's getting a
We're
little
trying to get some points.
little snippy.
Whatever, guys. You just
And,
want me to
You know what? I'll take a point away if you want.
Yeah, I think you should,
Don't
Marsh.
take it away.
Go ahead.
I don't know that if you want to take anything away, Anthony's home run should be taken away because it is a carryover game.
Yeah, it really wasn't last night.
It wasn't last night.
Same game.
It wasn't last night. It was for the last
Same
night's game.
Game.
Parlay.
Really? I just hit one. You want to take it away?
Yeah, well, the way you acted today, I don't blame him.
I acted great today. Hey, you know, why don't you give me the Florida Panthers minus 114 on the money line? That's
punch
my
you
play. I know.
right in the wiener.
I wasn't going to go that way, but you've been running your mouth for the last 2 minutes.
Wrapped hot dog.
in that
Panthers. My
Italian
guy,
sausage.
Matthew Tkachuk's going to score a goal.
Your guy.
I'm going to go with under 1.5 goals for that first period. First period, a total under 1.5.
All right.
Give me Mike Conley to go over 10.5 points for the game.
Son of a... I hate you, Anthony.
I know you do.
Like with a deep passion.
I really wasn't going to go that route either, but you just really ticked me off.
Damn you.
Ooh.
I had a different play in that
Baseball
game.
game.
I had a whole different play in that game.
You don't know.
I was going to go with the over, but now I don't have to.
Is falling apart.
Nah.
Oh, quite
Never been
contrary.
stronger.
No, Carey's right. We've never been stronger.
Ever seen a family at Thanksgiving? They all get together. They
Vicious.
absolutely shred each other to pieces.
Yes.
And then they hug it out and everybody leaves and can't wait for next year.
Right.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the ground ball question, we get a text from the 314. If you guys did that, there would have to be video of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
we're
like
fine
to
with
think
that.
we would.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
we
no
want
doubt.
we want video evidence.
Yeah, and
of
my
our
insurance company will
accomplishments.
probably need to
Probably, yeah.
You did what? Yeah.
What's the problem?
I didn't know there was an issue.
From the 573, dude, I had a college player hit one at me in slow pitch. I didn't even see it. Next time he came up, I was in the outfield.
I played, this was going back like 10 years ago, but I played in a softball league in Fenton. And Fenton, I don't know if the fields are better now, maybe they are, but there was a divot at third base. I played in the outfield. I played third base in the outfield. That's how hard these guys were rocketing these balls.
Did Fenton have
coming off
sand?
Yes. No, it was dirt. Yeah, dirt. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, growing up in Canada, some of the ball fields had, like, rock.
Yeah.
That crushed stone.
Yeah.
And so you'd catch a ground ball that bounces up a little bit off a rock that was a little bigger than the others.
Sure.
Danger.
Oh, you're spitting Spalding.
I'm not exaggerating on this. I'm not exaggerating. When I was same league, I shifted over to short one time. I tried a backhand one. The ball went off my leg and into the other field.
Ooh,
I am not exaggerating. We're talking a good 30 yards.
Who the hell were you playing with? Rick Ankiel?
These boys could hit. It was rough.
Someone says the Fenton fields are still not great.
Thank you. Divot, third base.
How long were you out with was it an ankle?
Oh, I stayed in. I'm no Ryan. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm staying in.
Good.
I want the ball.
Yeah, you do.
Wow.
All right, let's get to our 3 stars of the day. Our third star of the day is going to a guy who had to wait out a rain delay. And then he joined the show, BT.
Hey, BT. Heck yeah, baby.
Yes.
Thank you, BT.
Appreciate it.
Our second star of the day goes to a guy that had to wait out a rain delay before providing Anthony with his first home run of the year, Nolan Gorman.
Yes. Way to go, Nolan Gorman. Way to go, kid.
Oh, Paul.
And our first star of the day goes to 2 gentlemen that could not see eye to eye today, but they're still great work friends in general. Carey and Jamie.
Yes.
At some point, they'll come back together.
Absolutely.
Oh, they already did. There we go.
We'll
They already
absolutely
did.
come together very soon.
Absolutely.
I don't
Like
want.
good friends do, Carey.
Why?
I'll pass.
I mean,
Yeah. No, you're fine.
oh, Jamie.
I'm okay.
But good teams come together, Anthony.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Great teams stick together.
All right, that'll do it for us. Hopefully not forever. Appreciate everybody listening and tuned in throughout the course of the show today. For Andrew Marsh, Gary Davis, and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.